So the thing is, do we do? It's kind of weird because I think about it and I thought about it. I'm like, do we truly owe people an explanation? Like, why do we always have to explain ourselves? I mean, like really, like who do we truly like? Why do we have to explain ourselves to people? What am I? What do I have to explain to you? What do I? What? Why do I need to explain myself? Is the question. Do you ever wonder that? Do you ever wonder why we have to sit there and explain what's going on with us or the reason why things are happening to people? Like, why do I have to sit there and tell you the reason why this is? But yeah, it's easy to say that we shouldn't, but we do it all the time. I like that you said that, Raina. It's easy to say that, but we do it all the time. We sit there, we explain our situations. Good morning, welcome in. We sit there, we explain what's going on, regardless the fact of what's happening. It's like if I do something, I'm doing it because this is a choice that I made to do it. Why do I need to explain to you the reason why I've done something? Because my thing is this: if it's really not affecting you, you as an individual, whether I'm in a relationship with you or not, I shouldn't have to explain the reason why I did something. Because if it really truly didn't hurt you or affect you in any way possible, why does it really matter? But yet we still want somebody to explain and to give an explanation. You ever thought about that? Like you ever truly sat back and be like, "Wow, I didn't realize I have to keep explaining myself." Now, when it comes to kids, yes. When it comes to your child should ask the kids why they did such thing because they need to explain themselves. But as an adult, do I really need to explain my situation? Now, here's my thing: the only person that you should truly explain something to, and I'm just being honest, is the wife or the husband, your spouse. If you were married, yes, you need to explain yourself. You truly need to explain the reason why you did what you did if you're married. But if you're just dating someone, you don't truly need to explain yourself. Like you truly don't. But we have the tendency because we always want to know. We want to know the reason why. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Like, here's the thing. Even if I explain it to you and I tell you why I did it, what's the outcome? What's the outcome? Because it seems to me like you want to get mad at the reason why I did something. Or you want to find out so you can be in your feelings. First of all, people need to get out their feelings. Straight up and down. Get out your feelings. Why would you want me to explain something to make you feel some kind of way and then you want to get upset about the simple fact of why you felt that way? I can't believe you did that. Well, why'd you ask? Like seriously, why did you ask me if you know that you're gonna get in your feelings? What's up, Amy? What's up, sis? You know me. It's just it's a question. So what I'm going to do is this because I don't like to waste no time. I'm going to open up my panel. You want to come up and have a conversation? You want to come and talk? Come on, chop it up. What's up, sis? I get some of my sisters in the building. I know you just tapping, but I'm gonna let you come up because I know you. You said I'm just tapping. Good morning, ladies. Welcome in.
Good morning.
Good morning. How your sisters doing this morning? Everybody good?
Morning.
All right. So the question is this morning. I just wanted to talk, but my talking normally turns to questions anyway. Um, the thing is, why do we feel like we have to explain ourselves to other people? Now, I'm talking outside of marriage, because I know when it comes to marriage, you do got to explain yourself to your spouse. But outside of that, if I'm in a relationship with you, do I have to explain? Do I owe somebody an explanation of the reason why I chose to do some of the things that I chose to do? That is my talking point this morning. It's an open mic. Anybody can speak.
I'll let them go first. Okay, I have an opinion. So I think there's two different sides to this. First, me over explaining, I think that sometimes could be like an unhealed issue of wanting to prove my point when I should just learn to walk away. But I do think asking your partner questions because you're in the process of getting to know each other, vet each other, are we getting married and stuff, like, hey, why did you do this that way? Can you explain that to me, help me understand, and learning their thinking process? But I also understand there's a way of accusing your man and needing an explanation for everything. And I think that's more of a toxic approach. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily bad to say, and I've done this in my past relationship, like, hey, why did you do this way? And he helped me understand. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to date someone who thinks like you. That was my conclusion. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, and I respect that, but the thing is, what I think people need to get out of is, to be honestly, is if you're just starting to date someone or you're in a relationship with someone, stop worrying about what they did in their past, because their past can, you see, the one thing I don't want nobody to do, and whereas what I think people shouldn't want, and I'm not saying me, but I don't think what people should want other people to do is start bringing back things of the past, because I don't want to know what happened back then, to be honest. And we shouldn't really worry about what happened, who you dealt with, and what you did back then, because I'm a whole new person. So what you can, and what can normally sometimes can happen is those things can resurface, and that person starts doing the same things that they were once doing with the last person they start doing with you. I'm not 100% accurate, but like I said, these things can possibly can bring that out of a person. What do you say, doctor?
Okay, wait. Restate it again.
So my
I want to make
question
sure I
is,
heard it for
right.
clarity
So the
purposes.
thing is,
I want to make sure I heard it
oh, you got the thing is, why do I have to, why do we feel like we have to explain ourselves to the person that we're with? And I'm talking about outside of marriage. If other than marriage, we're in the dating process, we're getting to know each other, but why do I need to explain my actions to you?
I believe that there's like Miss Rain said, there's two purposes that you could do it. I would say don't do it if you're looking or seeking validation, or if you're trying to manage people reactions. But if there's a miscommunication and you're providing clarity or context to a thing, just for understanding, because the Bible does say God is not the author of confusion. So if it's to minimize confusion, maybe somebody didn't understand your intent or your motive, and you provided clarity, that's different. But for seeking validation and I'm trying to prove myself, that's out. And to your second part of the question, I truly teach against the very thing you said, right? Is the explaining your whole past and bringing up the past, and people like like you said, the past is behind me. It is what it is, and I don't give people any type of notes to guide to govern themselves in a new situation from an old one. So I totally agree with you 100% on that. Like women and people go explaining their whole lifestyle and what happened and why y'all break up. I don't respond to those type of questions, not in the manner that people think I would. I'm not going to tell you why. I'll just say, hey, we went our separate ways and I wish that man the best. And I leave it there. Because you give people, because what people do is they'll put a metrics and they'll say, well, he barely did this, so I'll do a little bit above that. Or they'll use it against you and weaponize it and be like, oh, but your ex got away with this. And now you want to be acting like this with me. So that's how.
Listen, and that's so true. We have the tendency, and I think for me, it's one of the most worst. Like it's two questions to me that I think is, I'm not gonna say it's the worst, but which really doesn't make any sense. The first question is, what, like I said, what do what was your ex like? Why did you break up? Number one, and the second one, what I think is one of the most dumbest things to me is, what's your zodiac sign? Like those two questions to me, coming from a man, I think is one of the most lamest things a brother could say, which tells me, number one, you really don't have no conversation, and number two, you really don't have no conversation. So it's like, well, I'm gonna keep coming to you. What's your zodiac sign? What does that matter? That doesn't define who the person is. And to sit there and want to know what your ex did, like I don't want to know. I could care less, because I'm not that person. And what I don't want to do is try to hold you to the standards that person held you to. I'm holding you to my own personal standards. You based on who you are. Silver.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Oh, come on, sister. And I'm gonna come back
Yes.
to you. I'll come back to you, Rain. Let me go to Silver. Let me go I'm trying to run down the line. Then I'll come back to you, sister, with your question. Come on, Silver.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I really don't I date, and that's an area that's kind of, I don't do it. I don't explain myself, and it's had its drawbacks because people like to ask a lot of questions. Especially when you just getting to know each other. But I feel like there's some questions that you don't need to ask me yet. We haven't reached that point. So a lot of times men will be like, "Well, why are you being so secretive?" Or, I just add, and I'm like, because I don't answer to anybody in my day to day. Like I don't usually have to tell anybody where I'm going, what I'm doing, when I'm coming back. That's a real an issue for me. I don't know if I'll be able to uh, manage that better once I do meet somebody I really want to be with. But right now, if I'm just dating you, you're on a need to know basis until I see that, okay, this is a person that is really truly concerned about me. It's just a simple like, well, where you going, or what you doing type question. But I just really have a issue with that. And I was talking to my friends about it, and they was like, well, maybe it's because you've been single so long, you don't know how to, you might not know how to submit or how to want to give that up to someone yet. And they was like, take your time. But that's a good question. And even in in my professional life, I don't do too much explaining. Unless you need the information to get something done, yeah, I'm not explaining myself. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if you don't like it, you don't have to. It's okay.
And that's the beauty of it. Like I think for me, and I said this, and I was talking to my wife earlier about it. Um, I said the thing is, it's two things. Number one, if I'm in a relationship with someone, if I'm starting a relationship, these are things that I should be willing to tell somebody instead of somebody asking me. Like you should be open enough to tell somebody certain things about you. And I don't think that people need to share every little detail about themselves because this is where some people can truly take advantage of you based on the details that you give them. But I think that you should just give a person just enough information about you. You don't have to share everything because the problem we have is we share so much with people and then not wind up not being with them. And then they use everything that they share against us and they use it as a weapon. So sometimes we have to be mindful of what we're saying and how we're saying it. Because I guess some people just we want to impress the person that we with. So I got to tell them everything. I want them to know everything about me. No, some things you truly need to keep to yourself because you don't know how long this relationship is going to last. So to me, going forward, I think people when they're starting a relationship, go. I would give information as the relationship flows. As it's flowing, that's how you're getting the information. I'm not going to pour too much into this cup because once you keep pouring too much in the cup and it overflows, now you got to get a whole nother cup. And the more you keep pouring, and that person is just drinking it all in. They taking all this, but they're not giving you anything back. Miss V, what's up, sister? Come on with it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What I'll say, I agree with everything you're saying, but I will say this: when you said that, don't ask me about my past because I'm no longer that person. Some people don't grow. Some people are still that person.
Come on.
So for me, it depends on what I'm asking you about that I am going to expect you to answer because there's a reason I'm asking the question. And if we are vetting properly and getting to know properly, is certain things that will be asked because I think people do it too because they want to see the type of person you are, how you operated before me. Because again, not everybody changes for the better for the next person. So if you're still stuck in your same ways, yes, I'm going to question you, and yes, I need you to answer. I'm asking for a reason, and I'm trying to gauge how you move, and so that becomes important.
No, and I respect that. But my thing is this, right? And I'm glad you said that. And but the thing is, how do we know how a person moves if we don't know them? So I can't sit here and say I need to see how you move with me because I don't know how you move with that person. You can tell me how you move with that person because what we know have the tendency to do is always make ourselves look better look better. We want to make ourselves look good to the person that we're talking to. We don't want to give them the negative part of us. We want to give them the positive part of us. Well, this is how I used to be in my past relationship. But the reason why I was like this and the reason why I'm not with this person is because of what this person did. But we never called the whole truth. We never really called the whole truth on what we did. We only give them, well, this is the reason why I broke up. I was with this person. I was trying to do the best that I can. And, I was trying to be the best man that I could possibly be, but she couldn't understand, and this, that, and the third. So we tap dance around the real truth of the reason why things are the way they are. And then now this person gets to put on this whole new costume with you because they're not really speaking their truth. But of course, what you said is accurate. We start watching their actions based on what they said. You can tell me how you moved, but now your actions is not lining up to what you told me. That part I agree with 100%. We have the tendency, especially us men, we will say certain things to a woman. Oh, this, I'm not like that. My last relationship, I was this, that, I was this way, and I was that way. And then turn around, our actions is not, it doesn't align, it doesn't line up. It doesn't. What was your question, Rain?
I think you kind of answered it already. I was going to say, I've been hearing a lot, choose honesty over truth. Don't have me ask you the question, just be honest and transparent with me. But at the same time, you did say something where we can't share everything at once. We don't know the person that we're with yet. And it's like growing into that relationship. So yeah, I'm now in a place where I'm not dating hurt anymore. I'm dating intentionally and healed. So it's like when I meet somebody, I have pure intentions for conversations with them too. But I need to be careful what we share up front immediately. I agree with that.
No, you do. You really have to be careful with the conversations. And I'm talking about men and women alike. We have to be careful with the conversations and some of the things that we truly share with a person. We should not be that willing and openly just because a person looks good and all this other stuff, but we should not be that quick to open up. Even some of us. And the thing that Ms. V said that I agree with 100% is this. We have to stop saying this is who I am. That's not who you are. A lot of people pretend to be something that they're not just for the moment, just to see what they can gain from a person. I'm going to, you know what, if I act this way, I think if I do this, she's going to like me. If I do certain things, she's going to like me. Why can't I just be who I am so she can like me? That's it.
One of the things I watch out for when I meet a man and we're in the talking stage is everybody is crazy. He'll be like, oh, my ex was crazy. My last few exes was crazy. So my question is, well, what was your part in the crazy? What part did you play in the crazy?
The crazy part?
I'm always met with, well, what do you mean? I'm like, because if everybody that you with is crazy, you're the common denominator. Which part are you playing in this? And it's always met with such, they get on the defense. Now it's like, now I'm crazy now.
No, the funny part is, it's not the people that's crazy. To be honest, the person that's every relationship that you've been in the woman was crazy. No, you are the crazy one. Because you never learned, you picked up that trait from the first crazy woman that you claimed that was crazy, and you stuck with it. See, there's another thing that we have to start letting resonate in our minds too, is the fact that we pick up certain things from everybody that we dealt with. We are creatures of habits. We pick up habits from every person. If you've been with a person 6 months or longer, you start to pick up that person's habits without even realizing that we picked up their habits. We start doing things mimicking the person that we with. We don't know it, but then we always say, this is who I am. We mimic these things, and then we go into a new relationship with the same stuff that we just came out of. This is the reason why people say that they healed. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, because if you are fully healed, claiming X, I'm fully healed, you're not going to be a repeat offender, which means I'm not going to keep the same habits that I had in my last relationship. My habits is going to be different. I picked up new habits. I picked up better habits to make myself better for the person that I'm going to be with now. Instead of repeating the same things and getting the same consequences, why do I keep breaking up? We have to ask ourselves, why do I keep going through so many different relationships? Why do I keep dealing with so many different women and I'm keep getting the same results? Because you're picking up these habits that you're not letting go. You are driving backwards instead of moving forward. It's an open mic.
I want to say something too. I think there's a difference in if you're being intentional with getting to know the person, right? I think there's a difference in asking intentional questions to really get to know the person versus trying to fish for information. Does that make sense?
Wait, say that again.
So I think there's a difference when you're intentional about the person you're trying to get to know. There's a difference in the questions you ask and asking questions versus me fishing for information.
Right.
That I'm trying to get from you to depict you as a particular type of man. I think there's a difference in the two. And we need to know how to separate the two.
That's the most important part. But once again, people ask the same men or same women the same questions. Why do we have to keep? It's like they write them down. And the sad part is when you keep using the same question because they've been working on the first person, you continuously keep using them and keep using them till you actually start perfecting them. To it feel like it just flows. These are I ask the same women the same question, I get the same answers. That's the reason why I get the same results. Does it make sense? And I'm saying I'm not speaking for women, I'm speaking for men. Some of us use the same tactics over and over again, but we have perfected our tactics. What works for one woman started working for another woman, started working for another woman, and we got better at it. And then we enhanced it and add a little bit more to the point where it's like it just became it flows. Some men use the same playbook over and over again with different women, and it works.
Over and over. They have mastered those questions.
That's what I'm saying.
They mastered all of that. Because if 100 women keep asking me the same old thing, I'm charismatic and confident in my response. I can answer quick. That's why I tell people, the fortune is going to be in the follow-up. You're going to get the real follow-up. You're going to get the real them when you ask the follow-up question, not the initial one.
That part. But you said you had a little pushback on what I said about people not being 100% healed. That's why I said.
Yeah, I disagree only to the sense of I truly believe that you will forever be changed by trauma. When you go through certain occurrences in life, like a divorce, that'll change you. It'll change you to the core. But can you fully be healed where you don't have the residue of the pain, where you don't still get anxious when the person comes, where you still like you can address them and face them, you can still be in the room and be cordial. You can be completely healed from the pain and the emotion of a thing. You might not forget what happened, and it will change your DNA. It will change the encryption in your brain, right, and how it works, right? But can you be healed? I just don't. When people say you'll never be fully healed, I believe in the Bible, and the Bible says it like this: by His stripes, I'm healed. Not partially healed, not somewhat healed, not a little bit healed, not halfway healed. The human side of you want to hold on to stuff, but the healed side, if you really get God's healing, that's complete. I just don't believe that God will, in all of His sovereignty, love me that much to keep. Like every little situation, I'm still struggling with it, and I'm still not over this, and I can't. Man, He loves us too much. He do away with some of that stuff. We choose to hold on to stuff that we can let go, and I'll leave it right there.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% correct. We choose to hold on to trauma. What's up, Neff? We choose to hold on to past pain. We choose to hold on to the person that we know is no good for us. These are all choices. This is the reason why I always say everything that we do in our life is a choice. We have made every single decision. Did we invite God in it? No. We did the decision on our own recognizance. On our own recognizance, I chose to do this. I chose to do that. I choose to live my life the way I choose to live it. Oh, thank you, Roxy. I choose to live my life how I want to live it. Period. There's nothing else that anybody can tell me how I'm supposed to live my life. If I want to be with this type of person, guess what? I'm going to be with that type of person. But my thing is this. If you're going to choose to be with somebody, stop complaining about the person that you are with. That's it. You made that sound choice. Stop going to other people complaining about your spouse, complaining about the person that you're with. What are you gaining? What are you gaining? But then you want to sit there, and then when they start questioning you now, you don't want to explain the reason why. Oh, I heard that you went to such and such, and you was telling her about me. Now you got to explain yourself. But why? My thing is this. I don't need to put information out there that I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to move a certain type of way in which I need to explain myself. You want to say something? All right.
I think Dr. Amy brought up such a great point that by Jesus' stripes we are healed. And that's something that I'm actually looking into right now because we all have a past, right? And some of our pasts are really ugly. And we create these default behaviors. And I have been through healing, right? But now there's some default behaviors that I carry in relationships. And I'm like, is this wisdom? Or is this like the unhealed version popping up? Like, hey, sometimes I need reassurance. I need conversation. And there's other things. And sometimes men are or are not willing to give that. So that's something that right now I'm actually looking into, like, am I really healed or is it wisdom or, just there's a lot of different things that you need to look into.
So let me the healing process, right? You have two different types. You have the spiritual healing, which is the godly healing. Yes, by his stripes, we are definitely healed. But then you also have to heal your flesh. That is the hardest part. That is the part that we are not fully healed from, our flesh. Spiritual is one thing, but that flesh is weak. So this is the part that people say, I'm still going through a healing process. They're not talking about the spiritual part. They're trying to heal from their flesh. And guess what? This is the reason why I say that. You will never fully heal from your flesh, no matter what, because it still yearns and it's still craving for certain things that you want. You may think that you're over something, but you're fully not, because your emotions, your feelings, all of these things will resonate once you see that person again. I believe this. You want to get over some of your fleshly feelings, some of your fleshly hits, walk back into the fire that you was just in. Put yourself back in that situation and see if you're strong enough to deal with that part. If I can walk by and be in the same area with somebody that I dealt with, that I had problems with, and I come out on the other side and I'm still good, and I'm not talking about my spiritual, I'm talking about my flesh, then guess what? I'm healed. You are fully healed when you over somebody, when you can see that person and still coexist and still be okay with it. Not sit there and get upset the moment you see them. Oh, I can't believe this person. Why this person here? You're not healed. This person calls you, pick up the phone, and you still accept those phone calls. You're not healed. You are still yielding to that person's will. That person has residency in your life. Stop allowing people to have residency over your flesh. Brother Trevor, good morning, my brother.
Good morning, bro. I can't stay very long because I'm working, but I'm driving, so I have a minute.
Okay, let me just drop what we talking about. I don't know if you was here. So my question is, why do we feel like we have to explain ourselves? Do we have to explain ourselves? Why do we feel like we always have to give an explanation of what we do?
Well, that's kind of a deep question, really. It can go a lot of different ways with that question. For me, one of the things that I struggled with that God has really had to deal with me about is when people attack us and they assassinate our character and they run these smear campaigns and they're gossiping and they're creating all this discord, right? There's that part of us that's like, man, I need to defend myself. I need to clear my name. I need to set the record straight. And God is really saying to us, no, what I need you to do, son, what I need you to do, daughter, is I need you to stay at rest because I will defend you. Man, that is the hardest thing, man, because there's that part of our flesh that's like, no, I need to explain myself. I need to tell people what the truth really is, because people are believing the lie. They're believing the false narrative. And man, God has really been working on me about that, because we all have people that are trying to assassinate our character. They're trying to drag us down to their level. And we have to crucify this flesh every day, man, because my flesh at any given moment is trying to rise up and try to do contrary to what the Spirit of God wants me to do. it stems from trauma. I mean, that's really the root of all of it. When you're not healed from trauma, trauma will have you still operating in brokenness. And brokenness will attract brokenness. When you are unhealed internally, you will attract what is unhealed. And when somebody that is healed comes into your life to hold you accountable or to call you out in love, you will run from accountability because it's easier to stay broken. This is why in the Bible, Jesus asked them many times before he healed them, he said, do you want to be healed? It wasn't that he couldn't heal them. It was he was asking them, look, if I heal you, you cannot stay in this broken place. You're going to have to pick up your mat and you're going to have to keep it moving. Because, see, a lot of us don't want to move on. We want to stay in brokenness.
Come on.
We want to stay in bondage. And even when God delivers us from bondage and captivity mentally, we're still living in a broken place. We're still living in a false identity. Because, see, that's what trauma does. We have all experienced trauma, and we will all experience trauma in life. And if you don't surrender that trauma to God, then what happens is it creates a false identity, and now your identity becomes rooted in your trauma. That's not who you are. You're not defined by your trauma. And see, we run from, I had to go on a 2-year healing journey because I had so much trauma in me. And I was trying to extract from people what I was deficient of. Because I didn't love myself, now I needed somebody to love me. Because I didn't feel validated, I need somebody to give me my validation.
Come on, bro.
Because I didn't know how to take care of myself, I needed somebody to take care of me. And I was operating from brokenness, and because I was running from accountability, when you don't have accountability, you'll point your finger at everyone else and say they're the problem. No, God is saying you're the problem. You're the problem, and I need to sit you down, and I need to hide you in the secret place because there's things that I want to extract from within you. Insecurity, rejection, abandonment, offense, unforgiveness, all these things that had formed who I was not, but who I said that I was. Because when I looked in the mirror and I looked at myself, all I saw was a broken person. People on the outside said, man, well, you're good looking and you got this and you got this going for you. But that's not what I saw when I looked in the mirror. And I tell you what, it's not pretty going through your healing journey, man. There's tears, there's crying out, there's surrender, right? But the fruit of it is beyond measure if you're willing to surrender that to God and go through the process.
But that
we have to be formed before elevation.
But
sometimes in the formation process, it requires separation. But we have made people a crutch.
But
okay, we go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I was go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. No, continue.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just flowing here because
I know.
I speak from a place of this is something I've had to walk out in my own life. So I'm speaking and ministering from experience. I lived so many years of my life as a false facade. I was working so hard to keep up and maintain an image of somebody that I was not, because I didn't really want to be myself. So I was pretending to be someone else because I didn't really like who I was. And because I didn't like who I was attracting the people that were never meant to be in my life. Because I couldn't be around a healed person. Because then it confronted me and it forced me to go to a place of healing. And that's what I was running from.
But
that's why a lot of people don't want to go through the healing process, because they don't really want to change. They want to stay broken. But they have, and this is the thing: is we start giving our brokenness power, and we start saying things like, "No, this is my trauma. This is my anxiety. This is my depression. This is my sickness." you're giving things power that were never meant for you.
You know,
we got to stop doing that.
No, I'm gonna say this, and I love what you said, Trevor. For real, I love you, brother. Real talk. It's something that you said that kind of, when it came to the bondage.
Yeah.
We can claim that we heal, but a lot of people love to be in bondage. They love that feeling. They like that because it's a comfort zone for them. They want to be in bondage because they don't want to hold themselves accountable. They want the pity. They want people to pour into them, and they want people to feel sorry for them. That's what that bondage is. I want you to feel sorry for me. I need you to keep, like, my thing is this. How much you got to keep going through for everybody to keep praying for you? I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you. You got people praying for other people, and they still in bondage because they don't want to get out of it. They are too afraid to move on. They are too afraid to look past. They're too afraid to heal. Why you think? Listen, I'm gonna be honest. There's no way you should take 5, 6, 7 years and you're still going through a healing process, which means you're not trying to let go. You're not fully trying. We have the tendency to use this healing thing. I'm healing. I'm going to listen. The journeys ain't that long. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Some of y'all going through these healing processes, and you got 800 pounds on your back. Some of us are going through it with track sneakers on. You know why? Because we're running through it. I'm getting through what I got to get through. I'm not gonna let nothing hold me back and keep me back from the blessings that I'm missing out on. Because I want to be looked at, I want to be feel. No, stop. Let it go. Let it go. Some things are so easy to let go, but we have the tendency to hold on to them, and we call it guilt. I'm guilty of this. No, I'm not. I made this decision. I chose to mess up. I chose to do drugs. I chose to hurt women. I chose to have pew-pews. I chose to be out in the street selling my body. I chose all of these things. So the only thing I'm healing from is the stuff that I chose, not what somebody else did. I chose to be in a bad relationship. I chose to deal with bad men. I chose to deal with women that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. These are all decisions that you should be healing from your own nonsense, not what somebody else did. And this is the part this is what be getting me under my skin when I'm healing from my last relationship. No, heal from the stuff that you did in the last relationship. Not what the person, not what you allowed, what you did. But healing should be accountability. It shouldn't be I'm from the pain that you caused yourself. That's what you should be healing from. I'm healing from my own pain, my own sorrow, my own hurts, my own heartbreaks. Redbone, good morning. Welcome in, sister.
Hey, so I'm with you, and Trevor, you was cooking. I was like, okay, we're going to church today. So I'm with that because it says when two or more in His presence, He does. So I think we got more than two. So I think we in there. And I definitely get what you're saying that. When you see your part in a situation, like I remember even saying that to my mentor, and she was like, what was the difference? And why she asked that question was what helped me to leave a not safe relationship. And it was me realizing that I had to get out of that for myself. But I want to make it very clear, but that in no way diminishes anything that the other person did to me, but it was me just acknowledging my part. The only time I push back a little bit is, especially because I do a lot of work with people that have been in, abusive situations and stuff. And of course, and this is all about discernment too, right? Because if you're talking with someone that has just gotten out of something, you probably ain't gonna say it that way. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna give you discernment to like, okay, you wanna keep it real with them, but you also don't want to put them in a situation that makes it harder for them to heal. So you gotta be honest, but you gotta do it in love. And so and he will make it very clear how you do it. Now, of course, if this person has been in a situation for a while and they still not hearing nothing, then you might have to be a little more stern. You might have to put a little bit more pedal to the metal. And I think discernment and wisdom, definitely is involved in that. And, the thing is, when you look at, and the only thing I also want to push back on is how long something takes. And I really think it just depends, because, like, my dad, he's been gone 19 years, and it still felt like this morning. And I don't think you're saying that, because I feel like when it's someone that was big in your life for a long time, that's not something you ever get over. But of course, where I was when he first left this earth to where I'm at now is definitely different. I mean, it's like night and day. And of course, I know I will see him again, so that gives me a lot of peace. But I'm always gonna miss him. But that missing doesn't like mess with me. But when it first hit me, I was making all kind of bad choices, because the thing is, when you had someone that was a really good dad, you know what I'm saying, teaching you all these things, you knew all the right things. But when he left, because I wasn't following the Lord at the time, I lost everything, like my mind, everything. It was crazy. And when I realized that, okay, I could still love my dad, but I can't love him more than my creator. Like, I had to do that differentiation work, and no one could do it for me but me. No matter how many people praying for me. And I had, like, the prayer warriors, the OGs, my granny, like all the things, but it still had to be me. So I definitely get what you're saying. I just always have to put that preface on it, because sometimes people really do know that they are the person that needs to do a lot of the work. But a lot of the times, and this is not an excuse, but this is real, because I've seen it play out in many people's lives. When you have been beaten down so much, you really believe that you really don't have any choices anymore. And I know that sounds a little crazy, but sometimes you really don't, because they have beaten you down. And then once you realize that you do have more choices, once you realize you can say a lot more for your life, it takes time though, and it takes healing, and it takes a lot of therapy and prayers, and there's a lot that goes into that. And over time you can get there, but sometimes I think we do got to be a little gentle with them, because a lot of them have been beaten up for so long that, let's be real, if the creator of everything come to you and tell you that you are worthy of greatness, and you can't even hear that from him, how you gonna hear any greatness from anybody else? There's no way. And that's how you know how messed up a person is, that they can't even hear from the one that created them, because that's how much pain and trauma is actually in them. So you do need time to heal, and he knows that too. And that's why I say it's not an excuse, because he is gonna put people in your life to pray for you, to have your back. But if you ain't hearing it, there's nothing he can do. But he will push back sometimes, and he will say, "Hey, I need you to come now." You know what I'm saying? So it's a balance on both sides, and that's why I just wanted to say, not to necessarily push back on you, but just kind of give that other side of it, because I know that even though I had a lot of people in my life, and I've been very blessed, it still was a lot of my work, but it was also a lot of the seeds that they planted. It was a lot of mentorship, and a lot of these women, they have like nobody. And even though they got the main person, they got the creator of everything, but until they really know that he got their back, until they believe it, because you can read the Bible to them all day long, but if they don't believe that he really got them, it's not really going to help them. I mean, the Bible always help, but not if I'm not catching what he's saying. It's not going to help me. Like, it's not like, it's like, I'm glad you said it, but like, what did it do for me? Well, that's what I'm saying about that.
No, I get you. So look, here's two things real quick, and I'm gonna come to you, Vic, and I know you got your hand up. Here's two things with me. Number one, first of all, I respect what you're saying. This is an opinion-based live, so if you got pushback, push back. I respect that. But here's the second thing. Reading the word and meditating the word is two different things. I can pick up the Bible and read it all day, but if I'm not meditating, it's not resonating. Meditation brings resignation. So if I'm meditating in the word day and night, it doesn't say a man needs to read his word. What he says, a man needs to meditate in the word day and night. Meditate. not reading. That's one. Number two is this. Some people even tune out the word of God. They tune him out the same way they tune people out. They do the same two things. I'm tuning out God because you don't really want to hear from him. You claim you want to hear from him, but here's the thing. People only want to hear from him when they're in trouble, when they're in a time of need. Hear from me when I'm already healed. I want to hear from him when I'm healed, when I'm not going through something. Not when I'm going through something. This is and the worst part of, I'm not saying the worst part about it is, well, what people have the tendency to do is always want to call on him when they're in need, when their back is against the wall. But guess what? When my back is not against the wall and everything is going good for me, I still want to hear from you. You know why? Because it's for me to give you thank you for everything. This is where people fall short. That's where a lot of people fall short because they tune him out. When things are going good, they don't give him praise. But when things are going bad, now all of a sudden now they want to open up their mouth. They want to go back to the word. They want to do all this other stuff. Why aren't you doing it while things are good too? I'm not saying everybody, but there are some people that actually tune them out. Come on, Ms. V.
I just want to say this. I was that person that always say, "Oh, I'm healed. I've done the work. I went to counseling, da 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 da." And it wasn't until very early in my marriage that some things happened in the marriage that made me realize I was not healed in this particular area. And so initially when it started happening, I was, blaming my husband. But at some point, I had to take a step back and say, you know what, this ain't on him, this is on me, right? So I say a lot of times when we are praying for our person, you need to understand what you're saying, I do too. Because a lot of times it's going to be you, and you got to be able to take accountability for that. That was a shock to me because, again, just because you say you're healed, that doesn't necessarily mean you are until that situation presents itself. That's when you're going to find out. And so counseling is great. And what counseling does is provide you with tools to be able to use to get through said situation. But until that situation comes up, you don't know what you don't know till you don't know. That happened to me, and it was a very realistic thing that I had to confront with myself. Because for 10 years, I've been saying, oh, I'm healed from that, and I'm healed from this, and that was not the case, and it didn't show up until I got married, very early on in my marriage. So what you can do is say, okay, I'm not dealing with this, blame the other person, and then you want out. That's what you can't do.
No, you're right. And we we don't blame ourselves 100%. We want to go through this healing thing with the thing of I want to get over the person. No, I want to heal to be better. Forget about me being over the person that I was last with. That's not what I want to heal from. I want to heal to be a better person for the next person that I'm encountering. We have to start motivating ourselves in a way where it's like, you know what? Do I really even need to go through a healing process? When if I can already see the nonsense that's going on, I see it already. I'm not going to let it affect me. The only reason why we're healing is because of the things that we let affect us to the point where we can't get over it. But we have the capability and the mindset to get over anything that we put ourselves into. Guess, like we say, I can do anything as long as I put my mind to it, correct? Is that not what we say? So why can't you put your mind to just letting things go that has been affecting you or that's affecting you in your relationship? You know why? Because we want it to affect us, because we want to see what it feels like to have that hurt, to have that pain, to see what it feels like to go through something instead of just like, you know what? I don't want to go through that. How many times have people say they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, but yet you are still sick and tired? D. Awesome, what's up, my brother? RC, good morning. In your mind, good morning. Welcome in.
It's good. Good morning. Thank you.
I would say this. I think people need to understand. You said one of the great words that ignited me, and that's motivation. I don't think people don't need to be motivated anymore, because they've been motivated many times, and that's how they got into a lot of the situations they got into, because of the temporary burst that motivation is. I'm motivated to do this. I'm motivated to do this.
But are you dedicated to anything?
Say that again. Say, are they what?
Are you dedicated to anything?
Wait, one more time. They need to know this.
Are you dedicated
Come
to
on.
anything? Because see, motivation is that temporary burst, but dedication, that's that commitment, right? That's that commitment to oneself. And the alignment of commitment to selves allow you to make the commitments you need to make in other engagements in your life. So, needless to say, that there's also some simple things when it comes down to decision making. We're addicted to feelings. I wish we all go to rehab and get over your feelings. The feelings are hurting. Indeed, they are. But however, they are only important to confirm certain events that have transpired. You don't feel a way about anything that you haven't experienced, which is asinine. That's remedial, right? There's another R word that I don't mind using, but for safety issues, right? Get out of that. You have a wonderful brain. Use it. Use it. It's a detector. You have eyes. Use your observation to detect things. But the problem is, again, it's that illustrious feeling. Oh, that dopamine hit. Talk crazy to me sometimes. I just gotta feel mad. It makes me feel glad. It makes me, no. Take what you need and move on. Too many times we don't understand the importance of planting the seed and receiving certain information. You know, it may not be vital today, but it may come in a week. It may come in a month. It may even come in a year. But the thing about it again is, again, we talked about this word last week. It seems to be coming back around that process point. What process do you have with yourself? Do you have that dedication and communication to self in order to go sit and be in the midst of a velvet arena and whoever else is here? Do you have that? If you don't have that, then that's a discussion you need to understand with yourself. And it's not a hard talk. I wish we would stop telling that lie. It's a hard talk. There's no such thing as a hard talk. No such thing as a hard question. It's either you know, you don't know, you just don't want to answer.
So let me ask you this, Dios, and I'm glad you're here. And for those that just came in. So my original question this morning is this: do we feel that we have to explain ourselves to others?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and that's why they be bothered either way. If they take the assessment of the situation and you remove the fact that it's a feeling and not an obligation, I'm not obligated to answer anything to anyone but God. You know, there's a point in time I wish people will recall in the Bible when Mary went to Jesus about, there's no more wine. And that was a checkmate moment there for Mary. He said, woman, my time has yet not come. Yeah.
I think that
what that really was don't get it twisted. Yeah, you birthed a God, but you're not the God. So it comes down to understanding when you see certain things, you like, okay, I'm not obligated. Why do I have a feeling about something? I'm not obligated. It's not a diligence or a duty of mine. Why am I promoting 1,000% on 0 calories?
I think for me, I don't think I need to explain myself to anyone. For what reason do I need to explain myself based on who I am? If you want to know me, then let me. I should be willing to tell you about me, but I should not have to sit there and explain the reason why I did certain actions. Once again, everything I've done is because I wanted to do it. Well, why did you deal with this person? Why did you? Because it was my choice. I don't need to explain why. And I think people, I said this earlier, we explain so much that we give too much information out. To the point where it's like, now it's a choice. Do I really want to deal with this person or not? Because of all the things that this person has told me. Sometimes we just need to shut up. They ask a question, I'm going to give you an answer that you may not like, but you're going to get an answer. But I don't need to sit there and explain every situation. Like when it comes to a kid, yes, why did you do this? Because you're a parent, you need to understand it so you can guide your kid correctly. But if I'm dating you, and I'm talking about outside of marriage, because the only person truly that you need, the only two people in your life that you need to explain to, one to God and two is your spouse. That's it. You ain't my spouse, I don't got to explain nothing to you. If we dating, I ain't got to give you no explanation for the reason why I done what I did. Why did you cheat? First of all, I didn't cheat because we're not married. I just chose to lay down with someone else because you wasn't available. So there was somebody else available to lay down with. Is that cheating? No. But we would call that cheating because, but we ain't committed. Who am I committed to? I never told you we was committed. You told yourself we was committed. And these are things that we have problems with. We start placing ourselves in situations, then we got to sit and explain the situation that we in. For what? What do I need to explain something to you if I never gave you these answers that you're thinking in your head? We claim women. This is my girl. But she go lay down with another dude. Now all of a sudden we mad. We want her to explain why you went and lay down with the dude. I never told you I was your girl. We validate people for all the wrong reasons without them putting a stamp on
it. Say that. It's some good water, man. Some real good water.
That's the worst things that we do. It's RC. You listen, it's an open floor. I got it. RC, your mind, a cell. Anybody can speak.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, let me say good morning to everybody. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good, my brother.
Yeah, I came in kind of late, but y'all talking about some real good stuff. And to the host, you said exactly what I was gonna say when I came on here. First of all, life is choice driven. We live exactly by the choices we make. And then we point our finger at other people, and we like to have pity parties too. But one thing we got to be accountable for the things that we do, because I remember as a kid, my mother used to say things to me because I would do something and try to point my finger at other people. My mama told me one day, she said, "Son," she said, "let me tell you something." She said, "Every time you point your finger at a person," she said, "look at your hands." She said, "Point your finger at me." And I did. She said, "What do you see?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Baby, three more, your fingers point back at you." So, and as far as me having to explain, I have to explain something to two people, God and my wife. I've been married, March made 31 years, my wife and I've been married. I don't have to explain nothing to nobody else. I do not have to do that. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but you guys are educating a lot of people this morning with what y'all are talking about. Every single person, the young lady, Trevor, all you guys, I'm just amazed because I came out in my backyard to do my morning exercise and I was strolling and I heard you guys talking. I said, this is interesting. And so you guys, whether you guys know it or not, you guys are educating a lot of people. Man, I'm 66 years old. And I got started early. I may not look 66 on that picture. I just took this last year. My oldest child is 50 years old, 51. I started when I was 15. So I had to start growing up really quick, you see? And so let me put it this way. What you were talking about earlier, host, you was dead on point with everything. Because we actually live by the choices we make. So I'm in my backyard right now. But if I leave out of my house and go around the corner and decide I want to rob a bank, and then they give me 80 years in prison. Now I'm mad at the world. That's my fault because I made the choice to go rob that bank. I could have stayed here and kept my freedom. That's a choice I made. Now I want to blame the world. Now I'm living in bad conditions. They treat us like animals in here. Well, if I wouldn't have made that bad choice, I would still be in my home. So, listen, I am going to get off, but I'm going to continue listening because I got some little grandbabies around here and they won't pop out and get in that kitchen with me.
Okay, listen, ain't nothing wrong with that. And just to let you know, you were 60 years young, not 60 years old, baby.
60 young, I'm 66 years young.
There you go. That's it. Don't ever put that old list. Y'all better stop putting old behind you. Yeah, keep old behind you and keep that.
That is true. That is true because I've been a CDL driver now 44 years, man, and I feel great. I feel great. I don't work out like I used to, but I do maybe 8 to 1,000 push-ups a week. That's not bad for a 66-year-old young man, something like that. But listen, I want to thank each and every one of you, and I'm gonna listen to this, and y'all keep dropping that knowledge because y'all blessing some people this morning, whether y'all know it or not. Y'all bless me.
All right.
Before you go, young whippersnapper, let me tell you something. You ain't lived life yet. Let me tell you, come sit down and let's talk to you, you know.
That's right. Okay.
When I was young, I had 5 women that wanted to date. When I was your age, when I was 66, I had 5 women. I said, no, I'm going to be true to Lucille and Lucille alone. I had to cut the other 5 women off. You hear me, young man? You keep living.
I'm gonna tell you something. I totally agree with you because 31 years ago when I met my wife, I was seeing several other women. But see, when you meet, you know what you want. You grown, you know what you want. But so you're absolutely right. I agree with you 100% because when I realized that was what I needed, did y'all hear what I said? I didn't say that was what I wanted. I said that was what I needed. When I realized that was what I needed, that's the one that was going to be with me, that was going to help make me a better man. I changed my phone number. I cut everybody loose. And now it's 31 years later because like the man said earlier, what are you dedicated to? You got to be dedicated to something. And so I've been there 31 years in. When I was growing up, people, well, you ain't going to never get married, nobody going to never marry you. And 31 years. And let me tell you something. And I'm gonna get off of here, but you know, I consider myself, and this is not bragging at all, I consider myself a great man, and I'm going to tell you why. You know, because of the way I take care of my family and stuff. But here's the thing. I didn't become a great man until I realized that it was not about me. That's when I became a great man. When I started putting myself first all the time and started realizing, well, it ain't about you, but what can you do for somebody? How good a provider is you? Can you take care of your family? Can you give your family what they need? You know, quit thinking of yourself. You know, and think of everybody else first. And then ever since then, everything just been absolutely lovely. And I give all that credit to God. I don't give myself no credit. I give it all to Him. And so again, I'm gonna get my face off of here, but I'm gonna definitely continue listening. And thank y'all so much. And each one of y'all have a blessed day today.
Hey, same to you, my brother. Listen, thank you for sharing. Real talk. It takes a lot, you know, to come up here and share a story like that, man. Listen, I appreciate you. Real talk.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Can I jump in? This is a seal. I just want to thank you guys. This is so positive and uplifting. And Velvet, I agree. I don't owe anything to anybody. The more that you explain, the more that you're trying to convince people to see things your way. You owe it to God. And I think one of the things that I see a lot is a lot of people walk around with unhealed wounds. And they complain and complain and complain. But they don't sit in that and try to understand their past trauma. And because they never heal, they go into another situation, another relationship, and it becomes impacted on top of each other until you can't take it no more. And one of the things that I've learned is that not only do we talk to God, but we listen. We listen to the thoughts for even the smallest things. You could be washing your hands. Do you notice how the water flows onto your hand? Are you grateful for the things in your everyday life? Do we actually sit in those moments, or do we just let those things pass us by and then want to complain and be heard by God when things are bad? But when things is good, we're quiet. We don't say nothing, but we don't take the time to sit in the silence, to understand ourselves, to learn ourselves. Who are you? Why do I have to explain to another person who I am? If you can't see it by my actions, and if I have to keep reinforcing you and keep telling you, at that point, it's a moot point because you never got it. If you sit in your moments and you understand who you are and you work on healing, Healing is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. You may be thinking you heal from something 5 years down the road, something may come up that triggers that, and it brings it back. You sit in that moment, you understand it, and you also grow from it. That doesn't mean the pain or the hurt won't come back. You just learn to manage it better. But if you put God first in everything, not just your complaints, but have the gratitude to be thankful for what you have, each day gets better. Thank you for hearing me.
You're welcome. Well, let me say this. So we got 125 people here. People, please grab your daily heartbeat. You ain't doing nothing else. If you ain't tapping the screen, at least you could do is grab your daily heartbeat. I don't even ask for much. Y'all know me. Velvet don't ask for a lot. All I ask for really tap the screen. But if you're here, grab your daily heartbeat. Respectfully. There's so many ways that we can go with this. But for me, it's like, I think people like to be hurt. As much as we say that we don't, I truly believe people like the hurt part. Like I said before, they want to know what that feels. They want to know what it feels like. Because there's no way I can't see you being in a relationship knowing that it's going a certain type of way and you're still there. And then we have the tendency that we want to try to fix the relationship, but some things just aren't fixable. Some people you can't fix, some people you can't control. It is what it is. You just got to let it be and understand, guess what? You know what? I can't be in this relationship no more. Learn when to walk away instead of trying to keep walking into that fire. And then you realize why you got to go through this healing process when it's all over. After you done spent 5 or 6 years with something you could have let go 3 or 4 months ago. And within 3 or 4 months, because look, there's only but so much a person can pretty much hide from you. Especially when people say, I have discernment. I know certain things about me that I'm not going to tolerate, but yet you are tolerating some of the crap that you claim that you're not tolerating. Whose fault is that? You doing it because why? Because truly deep down inside, you want to know what it feels like. I don't want to let this person go. You know, it's just something about this person. Yeah, you know what that something is? That person is full of it. Period. Person is full of crap. That's what it is. Some of us don't want to admit the fact. Some of us don't even want to be alone. We have this I need a body syndrome. Come on, your mind. I see you, brother. Well, your mind said I don't want to make it. Hello? You with us? Therapy 101. Mindset. You with us? You typing in the chat. Oh, you at the office? Oh, well, I gotta pack you up. You can continue in the comments. No disrespect.
I agree with what you said. I do believe a lot of people want to live in that moment of drama. They always want to have something going on, and they think it's their job to fix somebody else, and their job is to fix themselves.
But we don't know how. We don't know how.
If I stay in that drama, I stay in the moment, I stay relevant. Look at me, look at what I'm going through.
You know,
we're not here to be God to fix everybody.
You know,
that's the way I kind of see things.
But here's how I look at some things. When I hear people say stuff, right? They be like, you know, I'm a fixer. My job is no, you're not. No, you're not. What's up? What's up, big homie? You can't be a fixer if you can't fix yourself. How can people have the tendency to want to keep fixing others, but you can't even fix the crap that you're doing? You can't even fix your. Come on, bro.
Hero complex. God complex.
Yeah.
Just you on it. I just wanted to give it a direct name because I have this thing that you can only attack what you know what it is. You know, so until you know what it is, then you can't attack it. So yeah, a lot of that.
I'm gonna say something right now that's about to resonate to some of y'all women, and you're not gonna like it, but I gotta say it. Nurturing. I'm a nurturer, but you can't even nurture your own wounds. You can't even nurture the own feelings and own nonsense that you're going through. So how the hell? So, excuse me. How can you call yourself a nurturer? We are natural nurturers, but you can't even nurture the things that you're going through.
That don't hurt my feelings because I do believe that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't hurt mine
It
either.
hurt my feelings either. But I like how you do that before you're about to really say something. Because anytime I hear you say that, I'm like, oh, okay, he really ain't gonna say something that's gonna hurt our feelings, but he's like giving us that little, like, you know, little gentleness before he say what it is. Because as my daddy would say, you just calling a spade a spade. You just calling it what it is, and it's not to be mean. And I think that is where, not even just as women, I just think as society, like we think if I say, hey, Velvet, you know, I really didn't like how you said something. That, oh my gosh, I'm being so mean to you. Velvet, you will never make it through the next life because I said that one thing. So it's like, oh, well, why couldn't you have been nicer? I'm like, I wasn't even mean. But sometimes it's like, people always want to talk about constructive criticism. And I think being constructive is very important. But some people try to be rude and hateful and nasty and be like, well, I was just telling the truth. I'm like, you can tell the truth and still be respectful. You can tell the truth and still be like, you know, have some sense. Because even if you got to tell somebody something really hard, like we was talking about earlier, you still got to do it with some respect. Even if God tells you to tell them something that might really hurt their feelings, he's still going to give it to you in a way of love. It still might be hard. It still might hit them because they're not ready for it, but it's not going to be all ugly and, you know, like that's not the same thing. But a lot of people try to misconflate that and say, well, I was just being honest. So if they can't take it, they don't know how to take constructive criticism. And I'm like, you know, daggone well the whole time you was being nasty. Don't even try to do that. Don't put God in that God told you to be ugly, because God don't even like ugly. That's just real.
And he ain't too, but he don't like ugly, but he ain't too fond of cute neither. So don't get it twisted.
My God, used to say that.
He is not too
Can
fond of cute.
Say this really quick. It's easier for most people to look outside of themselves instead of looking in the mirror and really sitting with yourself and fixing yourself. You want to go fix somebody else because it keeps you from dealing with yourself. But eventually you hit that wall where you have to deal with yourself. As a person that has done a lot of work, brain reprogramming and all that kind of stuff, it has allowed me to see myself first. So I don't go into, like, I feel like if you are coming out of any type of relationship, whether it's toxic or not, you need to give yourself time to sit with yourself and, okay, what did we learn? What did we learn from this? What was our part in this? What can I do differently? Maybe I need to give myself 3 months, 6 months to just chill. But some of us go from one thing to the next, trying to get underneath somebody else to get over somebody else. It just doesn't work. Now you got a whole bunch of bodies piled up, and you're still not right though. You're still not getting to the thing that you keep saying you want to get. And the last thing I want to say is, remember, what you focus on grows. So focus on yourself. Focus on getting better. Focus on making better decisions. Because at the end of the day, all of this is about a decision, right? It's about when you get up in the morning, you make decisions to do things. And the number one thing when you get up in the morning, the decision you need to make is to be your best self today. I have something I say every day. I allow myself to be my best self. It's the most powerful affirmation I have ever spoken over my life, because it allows the best part of me to rise to the top every day. It's a practice, but it does work, and what you focus on grows for sure.
You know what? I want to say something. And at this point, I don't care who it hurt. That's on y'all. Take it how you want to take it. I'm a firm believer that people just want to be with other people. I'm gonna say that first of all. Let me say this about men. Some of us men be fabricating. How can we say we're a leader if we never learned to make mistakes? How can we say we're a leader and we was never taught what a leader looks like? That's number two. Following all the wrong directions does not make me a leader. I think that people that claim, people that say that there's some people that never healed or keep jumping into relationship after relationship is because they don't love themselves enough. So they're looking for somebody to validate their love. That's the reason why they keep going after somebody or keep dating and keep dating. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think people are truly healing like they say that they are, or going through this healing journey that they say that they are. They're just, to me, it's just what healing looks like to me sometimes. It's just me taking time out of my life. It's just, Lady M, we gonna fight. It's me taking time out of my life to reset myself, to think about all the mistakes that I may have made, or all, not even mistakes, all the things that I may have done, and to either you know what, I'm accepting me for who I am and it is what it is, or I'm going to revamp who I am. I no longer want to be this way. I want to be this way now. A lot of us don't grow up. And it's the reason why we always say, I'm not in the mood to be in a relationship. I don't want to. You know why people don't want to be in a relationship? Because they haven't grown. This is the reason why a lot of people are still single. They always say, oh, nah, I don't want to deal with nobody. You don't want to deal with nobody because you can't deal with nobody. Have nothing to do with the other person. It's you. You have not grown. So you have been in the same mindset. You have been moving the same exact way. You have been doing the same doggone thing. And there's the reason why you always say, I don't want to be in a relationship with nobody, but yet you are still willing to lay down with someone because you want your needs fulfilled. You want that sexual desire filled. And I'm not saying everybody, but there are people that actually use those words to manipulate others to make them think, oh, you don't want to be with nobody, and I'm going to force this person. I'm going to force myself on you.
Hey, host, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Would you mind filling me? I'm new to your live.
Hi, Nikki. Welcome in.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask if you wouldn't mind catching me up on what the topic is. I kind of get an idea of it, but I want to make sure before I
No, so just speak. So what I'm saying is, did you read the room? No disrespect. Was you reading the room? Was you flowing with us?
I was.
So then that's where you jump in at. So
especially after Silver went, because I can relate to a lot of
what
she was saying.
Well, come on. That's what we're doing. We just flowing. No one. It's conversation, sister.
Okay. All right. So healing, like you said. So for example, my last relationship broke me. I can definitely be woman enough to say there was a time in my life that I was seeking validation, right? Or that I felt like I couldn't be alone, looking for the love that I desired. But after my last relationship ended, I had to decide to step back and evaluate myself, because it's not always the other person's fault. Sometimes I think we try to blame the other person when we have to look into ourselves to figure out what part did we play, because it takes two in every part of a relationship.
Hold on for 1 second. I'm sorry. Ahead. You said something. Can you repeat that again? Because there are some women that need to hear what you just said. Please.
So for me, I had to take accountability for the part I played and why the relationship didn't work. I can't keep blaming the guys. What did I do? What part did I play? And I did decide I needed to be on a healing journey. I am actively, and I'll be honest, guys, you might say, damn, that's a long healing journey, Nikki. About 2 years and 4 months, I'd say, that I've been single, focused on trying to make sure that when God blesses me with the next man, I know how to handle it, how to communicate, how to, I don't know, just better align, better and vet the gentleman.
Let me pause for a second real quick.
Go ahead. All right.
That right there is where the reason why you're still 2 years. Stop waiting for him to bless you with the right man. At the end of the day, you need to position yourself for the right man to find you. See, you're sitting there waiting for a blessing to come, but you're not positioning yourself for that blessing. You see what I'm saying? So if you're sitting there waiting for him to do something, you're just sitting there waiting. He gonna keep you waiting. You have to be mobile. You got to put the work in too. So at the end of the day, stop sitting still. Position yourself in some place where you're not normally positioned. You see what I'm saying?
That. Yep, I receive
it's that. A big difference. So this is what I'm saying. When y'all women talking about y'all waiting, you're going to be waiting for a long time.
And I'm gonna say, for me, I want to make sure I'm fully healed. You know how we think we healed, or we think, I lost my parents. I had to bury both my mom and dad and both of my siblings, and I'm the baby. And they weren't old. My brothers died, one in their 40s, one in his 50s. My mother died in her 50s. So I lost my family. My mom I was young. My daddy, passed in 21. So I had a lot of unhealed trauma that I had to work on, right? Because I can't bring that into the next relationship. I can't bring that into a relationship. And so I needed to grieve, heal, come to terms with that. And hopefully a man will come along that will honor the fact that that's a huge thing for someone to lose everyone, not have anyone. But I definitely agree with you. I don't place in the right rooms or in the right places to get that blessing. I agree with you 1,000%. But I just wanted to say, I think I'm on a page with Silver a little bit where, and I don't want to mess up her words because I came in as she was speaking, but we got to take accountability. We got to look into ourselves. I'm definitely not perfect, and I made a lot of mistakes.
Listen, let me tell you once again, we don't make mistakes. These are choices. Everything we've done in our life is a choice. Everything that we choose. Because look, God don't bless it. He don't get you on the mistakes that you make because he know we're not perfect. So we bound to mess up. We're not perfect. But at the end of the day, it's like this. There's a choice that I made. It was a good choice or a bad choice. It's all it is. Everything in life is a decision. I made the right decision. I made the wrong decision. That is it. But in your eyes, you have to look at it like this. Are the decisions that I'm making, they were right for me at the moment. They could be wrong in someone else's eyes, but guess what? You can't see through my eyes. Your vision and my vision is totally different. What you say is wrong could be right for me. What I say is right for me could be wrong for you. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is live your life how you choose to live it. It is your life to live, not someone else's. We have to stop living for other people and live for ourselves. This is the reason why we don't get certain things, because we're too busy trying to live somebody else's life and live it for them. Telling them what to do, how they need to move, what you need to eat, what you need to read, what you need to drink. You are living somebody else's life. When in reality, be you. Allow me, if I want to be a fat, sloppy dude, guess what? Excuse my language. Then let me be that. If I want to eat what I want to eat, then allow me to eat it. But stop trying to tell me what I need to eat, because your nutrients and my nutrients is different. Your body and my body is different. So don't feed me what you're. Stop feeding people what you're eating, because it may not be healthy for the person that you feed it to. And I'm not just talking about food.
Right. That's diet by definition. It's basically lifestyle, which is consumption of what you see, hear, and do, even what you take in by mouth. But the biggest thing that I'm noticing is even now is even greater. I've said this before in the past, and it's seeming like it's the time to say it right now. Healers, people's going on their healing journey. And then you have people you listen to like, oh, you never really healed. Then you can't say you're healed or healing if you're never healed. The phobia of success. We have a phobia of success, and what lingers to that is an issue with acceptance. Because see, we can accept negativity, we can accept defeat, we can accept the lies, we can accept the hurt, we can accept deceit, we can accept the betrayal, we can accept all the neglect, right? But where's the acceptance of victory? Where's the acceptance of love? Where's the acceptance of peace? Where's the acceptance of dedication? Where's the acceptance of communication? What is the acceptance of commitment? Where's the acceptance of everything else that is opposite of everything you already know? We say it time and time again. You have the results you have because you chose not to do anything different. In order to get the results you never had, you must do something you never done before. So wouldn't it be a good time in life, particularly since tomorrow isn't promised, to be greater to yourself today than you have ever been any other day? I'm just asking a question.
Listen, I said that this morning. Sometimes we got to forget about what happened yesterday, because yesterday we can't fix what happened yesterday. We can only look forward to what today is. So guess what? Today You should want to be better than you was yesterday. I want to put everything that happened yesterday behind me because it is behind me. I can't repeat. We can't repeat the same day over and over again. We can have the same patterns, but we cannot repeat what happened yesterday today. Yesterday took care of itself. Today is going to take care of itself. But guess what? Whatever I did, I'm going to do 100%. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to think about what I did yesterday. I'm going to focus on today. I'm going to make today great. This is going to be one of the best days of my life today. Because the reason why I say that is every time you get up, it's another chance to do something different in your life. We don't always have to wake up with the same mindset of being miserable, of being hurt, of feeling sorry, of feeling all these things that we felt yesterday. You got a whole chance to do something new today. You in a whole nother light, a whole nother body. Guess what? I'm up, I'm alive. I don't care. I ain't even think about what happened yesterday. You know what I'm gonna do today? Everything that I didn't do yesterday.
You know what, Velvet? Here's the thing too. Let's bring a recalming, because sometimes we know what we know, but we don't think about it until we hear somebody else say it. So let's do this today, y'all. Today, Monday, July 20th, 2026. A day you never been in before and a day you'll never be in again. A day you've never been in before and a day you'll never be in again.
I agree. And I want to make 2 quick points. One is, if you keep reflecting on yesterday's thoughts, it keeps you in that loop. You are not your thoughts. Why are you letting your thoughts control your life? And you need to think new thoughts, feel new emotion. And I think I may have said this the first time I joined your live. A mistake more than once is a decision. More than twice is a character. I'm sorry, more than twice is a habit. More than that is your character. And if you keep repeating those mistakes, it's who you are. It's who you are. You're choosing to stay in that element. And one final thing is, so many people walking around here in fear. They are allowing fear to control their thoughts. That's why they stuck on the past and what the future and the present may hold. People need to get a hold of their feelings and understand how fear can dictate your life.
It's something that well, I've never heard this saying before until Rain told me this. She said, "An idle mind is a devil's playground." I'm gonna leave that there. Come on, Lady M. What's up, sis? Talk to me.
Good day. How you doing today? How's everyone?
I'm good.
See y'all. So I was sitting here thinking about this healing process. You know, everybody's always like, "Oh, I've got to heal. I have to do this. I have to do that." If you have to tell me you have to heal, you haven't figured it out yet. You are so not there. If I am to have to tell you, "Oh, I can't be in this relationship because I got to heal," why are you even talking? And not to be mean, but why are you talking?
No, be mean.
Go back wherever. I'm not trying to be mean, but
no, be mean. Be mean. That's not being mean. That's the hard truth.
And work out what you need to work out. Because if I am going on a date with somebody, I can't be like, "Oh, well, I'm still healing." You'd be like, "Well, go heal and call me back. Maybe, you know, I may or may not be available." So, you know, I hear people say it a lot of time, and I feel in some instances, it's a cop-out for not going out and doing what you want to do. If you are looking for someone and you putting yourself in a place to be found and you to find, then, you know, you have to remove that from your vocabulary. Because once you're healed, nobody says that anymore. That's just my 2 cents on that.
No, they don't. First of all, I'm gonna say this: if you're healing, don't tell nobody that you're healing. You're right. You shouldn't even be telling people, "Well, you know, I'm still going through a healing journey." Just go on the journey. Because when my thing is this: when I hear people say that I'm healing, I'm going on a healing journey, that means you want somebody to go on a journey with you. Just continue your journey without telling nobody what you're doing. See, once again, we have the tendency to keep telling people what we're doing. Why? Because we need validation.
Right. Exactly. We need someone to say, oh, you're on the right path. You're doing good. But the other person, they don't care about what was going on. They just want to get to know you because they find you interesting until you possibly open your mouth, remove all doubt, and then they're like, bye.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why they're not calling you back or texting you or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. We need to stop telling people everything. That's what I'm saying. Do we need to truly tell people what we're doing? No, we don't. You don't need to let everybody know what's going on in your life unless you're looking for validation. I need to be validated just to make sure what I'm doing is correct. If you feel that whatever it is that you're doing in your life is correct, then it is right. Forget about what somebody else may think, because now you got to make sure, I got to make sure I'm doing this right. Let me just get somebody's opinion. Only one, listen, if I'm fixing a car and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to a mechanic to make sure I'm doing it right. Period. But if I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to go. I just want to make sure, hey, am I healing correctly? D awesome. I'm just calling you, brother, just to make sure I'm going through my healing journey correctly. So let me just tell you what I'm doing to make sure that I'm healing correctly. You know, I'm eating my fruits. I'm saying my prayers. I'm sitting in my house. I'm not going outside. I'm just going to work and I'm making sure I'm coming home. I'm eating my meals. Am I doing everything correct on my healing journey?
No, you haven't shut up yet.
Because the other person has no idea what you're healing from. You can tell them, but they don't know the experiences or how it affected you. Whatever happened in your past relationship or just life. It's like, just keep that to yourself. Talk to a therapist, your pastor, whoever, but not the person that you're just trying to get to know.
I'm not even talking to no. I'm not even talking to no pastor.
Has nothing to do with them. Well, I mean, if you want to,
a spiritual healing is different from me going through something in a relationship healing. I'm healing from my flesh.
That's true.
I'm healing from the things that I created. Then guess what? The only person I need to talk to is me. Like we say, turn on that light, go in the bathroom, talk to yourself in the mirror. Listen, what the heck are you doing?
Hey, Bill, imagine me calling you and be like, hey, I met a woman. You like, oh man, that's cool. Yeah, she good looking. I can't wait to lay down with her. What? Why are you telling me this? Oh, I just want to, practice on being transparent. Let you know the things I'm going to do.
Yo, stop.
Oh, bro, wait a minute. It's TMI, right? That was funny how that would be considered to be TMI. But when somebody is going through their overly emotional stage, we don't consider that to be TMI?
That part.
That's a good question. And I just really love how, and I think we said this earlier, and I think D Awesome said it. It's like sometimes you don't even realize it until you hear it from someone else. And it's like, oh, okay. Because that's what we do. We get caught up in this, man, did I really think like that? Like I journal a lot, and I always say journaling is so helpful. Because like when I look back, and I don't gotta go far. Like I could just look back from a couple of days ago. This is the only time I do look back in the past. Sorry, Velvet.
Don't be sorry to me. That's your life.
Right,
you don't owe me no explanation.
But, I said that's the best with you. But when I look at it, and I'm like, did I really get that mad over that? Because when everything feels heightened, and we all know this. Like when you're in a situation, it does feel bigger than what it actually is. And then when you calm down and you look at it later and you're like all logical again and have some sense, then you're like, why the heck did I go through all that? Did I really just let myself act like that? Did I really allow this person to take me out of me? But I know with how we've been talking, I am thinking they didn't really take me out of anything because that was me already. And I know that was the part when I heard, I think it was 459. I don't know how to say the first part of your name. But I remember that's what made me really think about that. And I had to thank you for that. Because sometimes you really do think, oh, well, I just need to do this or I just need to do that. But no one's actually ever told you that. And even if they did tell you that, why are you even listening to that? Because I feel like as a whole, and this is where a lot of things happen bad in relationships, because you could be really in a good relationship with someone. Y'all could be vibing real good, like everything going as good as it could go. And then for whatever reason, you're telling your friend, and not even deep, just like, hey, you know, my guy is good. He does this, and that for me. And then she'll say, what? That's not good. That's not, why is he doing this? And he lazy or he this. And you weren't even thinking like that about your man at all until this chick says this, and now you're doubting your own man, and then you start disrespecting him.
But whose fault is that?
You're like, you know what I'm saying?
Whose fault is that?
Even realize it.
Whose fault is that? That is your fault for running your mouth about your man to your friend. That's why I always say, stop inviting your girlfriends or your homeboys into your relationship. There's no need for somebody else to validate the person that I'm with but me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But the thing about it is, y'all women do it more than men. What's up, Dinah? Y'all women do. Y'all would allow your girlfriend to sit there and give y'all the 411 on the dude that you dealing with. But a man, me going to my brother, stay Liddy, yo, Liddy, I'm dealing with this chick. Yo, I don't think, listen, I'm going to do me. I don't care what he tell me, because in my mind, you telling me that because maybe you want to get her. So now I'm cipher. A man is different. We would sit there and be like, another brother tell another brother, yeah, I won't deal with Shorty. Why not? Nah, you know, nope, I'm going to deal with her. What's up, Hill? I see you, sister. No, I'm going to deal with her because it's my choice. We have to stop allowing people to validate somebody else for us. Yo, she's a 304. Yo, Shorty got bodies. Guess what? I got bodies too, so we're going to have bodies together. But the only body that matters is mine. I don't care how many dudes she slept with. So what? We act like we ain't never sleep with nobody before. Stop playing. We be getting it messed up. We get the game messed up. Now, I will say this to some of your sisters. Real talk. A dude got like 5 or 6 baby mamas. Red flag. Run. Because you're going to be, you might be 6 or 7. Stop. I'm keeping it real. Fellas, she got more than one baby daddy. We got to talk a little bit. I got to have a conversation with you and understand why you ain't pick none of them dudes. Like, see, these are
open to a true conversation about that. Like, why someone? Because I have 2 daughters and their dads are different.
No. You said 2. Why. You said 2. See?
I have 2 daughters.
It's different. Now, here's a question: how long you was in a relationship with these men?
The first one was a DV relationship. I was in it for about 3 years. That's why I had to leave. And the second was 10 years.
Okay, well, see, you ain't got to validate that. I can rock with that. That means you're stable enough to be in a relationship long distance. I mean, long enough. But I'm talking about. I'm not going to do that because I'm about to get real bad. It was about to go left.
Get bad.
No, y'all don't want to do that because I hurt people's feelings and people get mad on TikTok. I want to
hear your perspective. I'd like to hear it.
Okay, here's my thing, and I could be right, I could be wrong, but this is just my thoughts. At the end of the day, here is a woman that has multiple baby. I'm gonna start with the man first. He has multiple baby mothers, but yet he's not holding himself accountable for the situation that he has been putting himself into. Meaning, that should be a flag for some of y'all women to understand. Hold up, you got all these kids. Yep. Not saying that he's a bad man, but he's not worthy of a relationship because he's basically telling you, I'm just laying down, planting my seed, but I can't be committed. I don't know how to commit. Those are problems to me. That means, brother, you don't know how to commit. You've been with a woman 6-7 months. You are automatically getting her pregnant. And now you bouncing from woman to woman. How do you hold yourself accountable for these actions? When are you as a man going to learn to hold up? Let me settle back. Same thing with a woman. You're allowing you're dating multiple men because you're looking to be loved, but these men are not loving you; they just loving on you. And then next thing you know, you're giving up your prized possession, you're giving up your jewels to this individual, and now what? Now you don't gave it up to 4 or 5 different men because you've been searching for 4 or 5 different men, but you never, for once, told these same men you should have learned from one. Now you got 2 kids. Now you got 3 kids, which means you're just allowing these brothers to just ejaculate in you. You're not even telling them to wear protection, so which means that you don't validate your body. You don't validate your body because you're just allowing men to just do what they want to do, go up inside of you with no protection. It's a sign for some of these men. It's a sign. I'm not here to hurt nobody's feeling, but I'm just here to give the hardest truth. You have multiple children. You're not validating your body. You don't care. You let any Tom Dick get up in you. And then you let Harry be the next one to come up inside you. You see what I'm saying? We got to be careful with some of the people that we choose. And I'm not saying that these are not bad people. They're just have to understand these are the same ones that need to be coached better, that need to be better. These are the ones that need the healing. Those type of men, those type of women. These brothers are not protecting themselves. They don't hold themselves accountability. They don't hold themselves accountable. And I said this before, and I'm gonna throw the same question out there. If a man tells you, I do not wear protection, and you give him some, and you become pregnant, who is in charge of that child?
It's going to be that woman in charge of that child.
But we have women that are getting mad and be like, no, he has to take care of that child too. No, he doesn't. He chose not to. The moment somebody tells you what they don't do and you still allow that person into your life, you are solely responsible for every action that happens. Not that person. You can't blame that person for anything. They already told you what their capabilities are, and you accepted their capabilities. I don't like to wear condoms. I don't like to do X, Y, and Z. But you still chose them in your life. That is your responsibility now. That person is not accountable because they already told you that they don't hold themselves accountable for any action that they did. This is the reason why we got to stop explaining to other people about things that we do. Stop. See it for what it is. Look at the person. Look at them for what they. Come on, lady. I'm done. I'm done. I ain't gonna keep teaching y'all.
No, but I really love what you said, and you did not. I'm only speaking for me. You did not hurt my feelings. I really appreciate how you said it. You are OG to the OG, cause it's just real. You just have a real way of how you say things, and that's what I'm saying. You are the perfect example of what I was saying. And you can say something real and still be respectful. You didn't say it in a nasty way. You didn't say it in a cruel way. You were just being all the way gutter. You kept it real. You kept it respectful. And I feel like this is what we're missing in society. It's just this is what you call grown people talk. Like, I know this is TikTok, so that's probably very rare to actually be on a panel with grown people, talk about grown people business and just being real. And I feel like most of the time, anybody that gets mad, and it's not even a bad thing that they get mad, because I feel like it's something stirring in their heart. Now, where it could be bad is when they feel the stirring and they don't keep letting it cook, right? And they don't keep working on it. But if it stirs and they just get mad, then it's not going to do nothing for their life. But if it stirs and they like, you know what? I'm going to work on this. And not work on it in a negative way or anything, but like, you know what? I'm going to see why this is hitting me. So if I internalize why this hit me the way it did, then I can do the steps that I need to do so I can get better. But if I just look at it and say, oh, he just hating, he just mean, he just this, then that automatically takes me out of healing myself, because I'm more focused on you and being mad at you for you telling the truth. But if I just look at it for what it is for my life and just take from what, and not everything you say got to be for me, but whatever's for me and whatever you say, I just keep it moving and I heal from that. And the stuff that I don't roll with, I don't even got to focus on. I just go with what I roll with. And if it helps me, it helped me. Anything else, I don't even got to think about it. So I think that kind of goes together with what you're saying about staying in the present and not always going in the past. Because if I just look for what it is and it helped me, let me just focus on that. Stop focusing on the stuff that I was mad about, because I think that is what hurts us as people. We want to focus on this person made me mad versus looking at why is what this person said made me mad. Because I feel like that's two different things.
No, you're right.
Melvin,
No,
you
no.
mind if I
Sorry, can I make a contribution, host? Can I make a contribution?
Come on, brother. I know you've been waiting. I got you.
All right, all right. So I want to talk in terms of perception. Let me focus on mindset. People don't actually think of what they want in a relationship. They're just being blown or carried away, because if we talk about personality, which I define as what the way we think and the way we feel and our action, and this is actually our personal reality in a sense. So, but whether on the male side, on the female side, we want to think what we want in a relationship. What do I want? What do I want to get? Because you don't just get carried away. You don't just go on feeling without really striking out your goal or your purpose. So we don't want to forget this, because keep making that you say something, when you keep making a mistake, keep making it, and you're learning from it, and you've not really got yourself in control. That's insanity. So I want us to look at it in the way where we can focus on, okay, what do I really want in life? Do I want to continue running cycle and cycle and cycle and cycle? No, so it's not something that we can be proud of it. We just want to do something for the purpose of future, for the purpose of who we want to be in the future. If we have a kid and our kids are looking at the way we are spending our life in unvaluable way, how do we control them? How do we keep them in check? So it depends on our value. What do we want? So actually, we can all sit down, and this is where perception comes in. That perception is just like for me, I try to check myself, and I strive what I call electromagnetic field. That is what I think. My thought is sending out a signal, which is an electric signal. And my feeling, that's my emotion, is like a magnetic, which is grabbing whatever is in the society or in the community. So the action I put in place to let those things happen, whether on the negative side or on the positive side, determines what happened to my life, determine how things are happening to me. I can't just be on euphoria, on spirituality, this, that, God, this. No. Universe don't give you what you're not ready to give to universe. You don't just get what you're not ready to give. So it's whatever you give that you get. This is the energy. Basic. We must understand that in life, in as much as you want somebody to be fair to you, you have to be fair to somebody. If you want somebody to treat you with love and respect, you have to do the same to someone. So you don't. I respect law of sowing and reaping. You don't just sow a corn and you want to reap millet. It's not possible. That one that never happened. So whatever you want, you need to go there and sow it. If you want real love, be ready to sow real love. If you want some other way around, that is what you get. So whatever we want, we will prepare a ground for it. And that's the basic thing about life, because when you are trying to be smart about life will be smart on you also. And whatever you get is what you are giving. So people don't need to be pointing blame. You don't need to be saying, I am this because of that, I am that because of this. No. What you are doing, what you are getting is exactly what you deserve. So I believe in what some of these philosophers say, that whatever you get is as a result of what you are. If you want something, just know that thing that you want, you are sowing it into the society, you are sowing it into your relationship, you are sowing it to your partner. You get it without even demanding for it. It's an automatic thing. So I believe it's just on both sides. We have to get better day by day. Thank you so much.
No, I like that. I like what you said. Is true. Listen, you that was kind of deep. If you think about it, you're kind of right. You are what you put into. If you got negative, if you're full of negativity, guess what? You're going to be in a negative relationship. You're going to build with somebody that's negative. If you have positive energy within yourself, guess what? If you're building off of positivity, you can only get something positive out of it. That's the truth. This
Yeah,
and
but
this.
I want to.
Let me go to my brother.
Back.
Come on, because I want to go to my brother, lady. But go ahead.
A comment you said about the baby. A man say he don't want to wrap it up, and you still. Now I agree, and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you a personal instance. I might be on the unfavored list with the ladies, but my daughter, my oldest daughter, she'll be 33 in October. She got pregnant 23. The guy sat down with me and her and said, "I don't want this baby. I have 3 kids I can't take care of already, and I'm not ready for another child now." I look at both of them like, okay, y'all both like, okay, number one, daughter, why you ain't wearing protection? Number two, why you letting this happen when you know the situation? However, I had to respect what he told me because he came to me as a man and said, I'm not ready. I would like for her to not have the baby, but she didn't believe in abortion. I told her I'm a rock with you no matter what. I got you, but understand you're gonna be a single mother. And she actually stopped speaking to me for a little while because I kept it 1,000. Like this man told, I'm not saying, but I don't believe that you gotta force. He said he don't want it. You lay down with him with no protection. You gotta take accountability. Again, that's my word. It's not his fault, of what you chose to do. You chose to be with someone intimately that you had no relationship with. He told you were only about 4 to 6 weeks. He said, I don't want this. I'm not ready. I don't want it. I miss Nikki. I don't want it. I couldn't do nothing but respect. He kept it 1,000. And I hate to say it, my grandson is 10. And he's never, I don't feel like I need, if I want the man to be a father to my child. I don't want to force nobody to want, to do what should already come natural, if that makes sense. Right. So, I don't agree with my daughter running him to court, taking him to court. I mean, is that, like, I know I might sound wrong, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, you listen. You're speaking what you got to speak. Can nobody? First of all, let me say this to you, sister. Real talk. We live in a world right now with what I do on this platform is all based on your opinion, your truth. Nobody has a heaven and hell to put you in. So whatever you choose, it's not wrong for how you feel. It's your feelings. I'm not here to validate how you feel. I'm just here to listen to what you got to say. Now, if I got an opinion on something, it's my opinion. It is what it is. But other than that, we got to stop worrying about trying to put our feelings based on what's like you wrong, sister. No, you're not. You doing what you're doing. First of all, let me say this to a lot of women. A man already told you he doesn't want to have a baby. A man already tells you what he's about to do the moment he doesn't have a condom. If you as a woman do not ask this man, you don't have protection, but you still allow this man to run up in you, that is your responsibility, period. You already knew this man does not have a condom, but you chose to still lay down with him you already playing Russian roulette with your life, and the gun is loaded. And it's loaded.
And more than just a baby, right? And more than just get pregnant. But my mom used to teach me, and this is my last sentiment, I'll land my plane. Mama's babies, daddy's maybes. Meaning mama gotta always handle the business. Sometimes it fall away where you gotta be the mom and the daddy. I think it's a vicious cycle. I don't agree. But in my daughter's case, and I'm only speaking in my daughter's case, she chose to bring that child in the world knowing this man was not going to be a father.
It's not even that. It's beyond that, sister. What I'm trying to get some of your women to understand is this. You keep saying no. It's his responsibility. Who is the gatekeeper of sex? Women. Bottom line is no man can force himself inside of you unless you allow this man, other than what I'm saying. But hear what I'm saying. If you are in a relationship with this dude, in the moment this man tells you, I do not wear condoms, and you choose to give this man some, you are solely responsible for that baby that comes out, because guess what? Your body, your choice, correct? Right or wrong? Yes. So since it's your body and it's your choice, you have the decision to make. Guess what? Am I going to keep it or am I not? Bottom line, stop saying your body, your choice, because we don't have a choice, and no say so what goes on in your body. Period. You chose to allow this man to do something. Guess what? Your body, your choice, right? When that man tells you, I want you to get an abortion, you still decide to keep the baby. Your choice. So you need to take care of that child. You made the sole decision to keep that child. The thing that kills me is this. A man does not have no say-so in anything that y'all do with your physical being, period. None. You can't sit there and say, well, he said no. because you chose to have the baby. You know why you chose to have the baby? Because you chose that you still want to keep that dude. Now, guess what? Because he don't want to be with you, and because he doesn't want the kid, now all of a sudden you listen to your girlfriend. Girl, you need to take him to child support. He don't want to take care of the baby. He told you he didn't want to take care of the baby the moment he said he didn't want to have them. But you still decided to let this man run up in you raw. You have the right to close your legs and tell that man, no, you ain't getting none of this box. Y'all don't get it. But you want to argue with me and still want to turn around. Well, he's still responsible. No, he's not. Let me.
Well, we gotta do our community due diligence.
I agree.
We gotta do our community due diligence, y'all. Anybody that's in here, have to grab your daily heartbeat, please. Grab your daily heartbeat. Grab your daily heartbeat, please.
Okay, I'm new to this. Can you tell me where I do that from?
At the top of the screen, see where that little white section is next to his name.
That join with a plus sign?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's that.
And I just want
D-Boy, what up, yo?
to add something to this. You're not hurting my feelings one bit. I've been saying this for years about people and understanding who you are. And I'll say to somebody in a minute, what are you? What are you bringing? Are you bringing toxicity, manipulation? Are you not accountable? Are you not safe around this person, whether it's physical or emotional? Do you have clarity? Is there chaos going on? What is the responsibility? We leave all that behind, and then these situations come up, and then you got to go heal, but you never took the time to understand who you are. If someone told me I don't do X, Y, and Z, they set the boundary. I don't know why so many people feel like they have to break boundaries to prove a point and then turn around and go say, oh, I got to go heal. Just a thought.
No, where I'm at right now with mine is this. It's the saddest part that women, some of these women, even in the comments, and I respect you and I love your comments, but you know I'm gonna push back on what y'all say. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all keep trying to blame the man this, the man that. You can blame the man all you want, but at the end of the day, turn around and blame yourself for the actions that you allow to take place. This is what I'm trying to get through your skull. You allowing these actions to take place, regardless of the fact if he's telling you whether he wears a condom or not, you are still allowing this man into your body. So now you're trying to hold him accountable for something that you allowed. Don't work that way. It don't work that way. Your box, your body. Once again, your body, your choice. Everything that we do in life is a choice. You chose to lay down with him, even though you know he doesn't wear a condom. He sat there laid next to you. He can't sit there and convince you to give him some. Come on, baby. You know, just let me put the tip in. Stop playing. Pre-ejaculate. Listen, y'all, let me leave that alone. Anyway, come on, Liddy. Come on, bro. Listen, I could do this all day.
I wanted to add to what you were saying there. Accountability is a really big thing. And many women, and I'm just going to say women because I can't speak for men, of course. If you respect yourself at all, your body, everything about you, you will not let these men who say, oh, baby, all these sweet things to you and let them do what they do and tell you they're not going to protect themselves. Pregnancy, there's so much other stuff that you could get that's for life that you can never get rid of, all because you didn't protect yourself. So, you can blame whoever you want to blame, but at the end of the day, if they tell you, believe them. Believe what they're telling you. If I tell you I'm not a good person, believe me. Don't wait now and go, well, you seem all right. Use some common sense. And, a lot of us has probably heard lately, common sense isn't so common.
You ain't lying.
It's really true. But, what do you want for yourself? If you don't want a child and you just want to be a single mom, that's fine. Choose whatever you want to choose. But just remember, when you're done pointing the fingers, make sure that you see those 4 fingers that are pointing back at you, because at some point in time, you still said yes and allowed it.
And the
So
reason why I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm trying to get to my brother Lee Nitty. Y'all keep jumping over my brother. Can we get to Lee Nitty, please? Come on, Liddy. Come on, stay, Liddy, please. Can I get to my brother, stay, Liddy? Just one time, ladies. I got you next. Shelf. Come on, brother.
First of all, I want to say good morning to the panel. Good afternoon to the panel, to the queens and the kings that's on the panel. And my sister Rain that's down in the comments as well. Listen, life is about choices, right? We can choose to act right, or we can choose to not have common sense at the end of the day. You know what gets me though? People have common sense at work with their bosses. This goes for men and females. I mean, men and women. You understand? They have common sense at work. They know how to act at work. They know how to have. They know how to, be right at work. Protect their money. Protect their responsibility. Protect what work for them. You understand? But when it's them, it becomes another thing. You understand? Me personally, a lot of people gonna chop my head off of this probably, but I don't believe in love in 2026. I really don't. I don't believe it's real love in 2026. It's not. The generation that's right now, you understand, just like Velvet was saying, that a lot of people want to feel what it feel like without it on. You understand? And the responsibility, I believe, is on I believe it's on both of y'all. You understand? Because if you going up in a room and raw, you know what I mean, you going up in there raw dog, you know what comes out of it. If a woman allows you to go up in there raw dog, she knows what comes out of it. And let me tell y'all this, if y'all not financially secure, when you're deciding to let that man go raw dog, or that man decide to go raw dog, it ain't no coming to nobody being like, and this ain't no shot at you, Sister Nikki. But it ain't nobody coming to me telling me, hey, look, I went raw dog in your daughter and I'm not ready. It just ain't. Brother, look, like I said, it won't no shade, no shot.
No, I didn't even take none. You know what's the sad part, Liddy? If so I'm a DV survivor, literally. I'm sure you guys know what that means as far as survivor, literally, right? Literally, still have the scars. That's her father. So I'm not gonna let me say this. I'm not one of those people that say, at a certain age, I think we have to understand and know right from wrong, right? I taught her the best I could as her mother. Trust me, I was very real when it came, because I had to be mom and daddy. But I think, like you said, you're absolutely 1,000. The only reason I did that was because I know, number one, I didn't want to break her heart because it's already broken, right? But number two, I felt like, my mom was a single mother, but my father was an amazing man. They just weren't together, right? So I was raised a little different. Well, I don't have that partner to help me raise and make sure my daughter knows her worth. I have to do it, but she's looking for love from what she didn't get from her dad, and that's real, because every guy she's chosen is like her dad, every single one of them. And I've tried until I'm blue in the face to tell my daughter the right thing. Trust me, I didn't just hand her over. She made those choices, but as a woman, first time I raised my grandson as if he was mine. I helped her 1,000, and we didn't need him. She went and made that mistake a second time with another. Now he say he wanted the baby. That was different. It's her boyfriend. They were together for 2 years. And as soon as it's like the baby my granddaughter has autism. I think that's a big part of it. I think he can't handle it. And so he stays away. I'm not making excuses for him though. He still has to step up because they chose to have the baby together. So I feel you, trust me. Sometimes I feel like, man, my hands are tied, and I'm gonna let you get back to it, Liddy. Yeah. It's like as a woman trying to do and raise my babies and keep it real, because I keep it 1,000 with my children. I didn't play the fake stuff. I kept it. Look, protect yourself. It's more out here than having getting pregnant. I'm an RN, so I see a lot. I know, I've been through a lot. So I wanted to save them from that pain. But at the end of the day, she made that choice, and she's got to live with that. I'm not giving the baby daddy a pass, but I'm saying, at the end of the day, when do we as women say, I'm not going to let that happen? No, you're not going to. We're not going to do nothing if you ain't got no condom. I'm going to be on birth control or protect myself. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm
gonna land my plate and I'm gonna let the sister have it.
I got you, Shelf. I got you, Shelf. I see you next.
Okay. My fault, sister. I got you. I'm gonna land my plane really quick. Because I love what y'all saying. So back to choices, right? You know, we grown at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Even after a certain age, whatever. We worry about. What's that?
Good.
We do our job with our children. You know what I'm saying? The ones that have children, we do our job. We teach them. We embed things in them. Morals and respect and all that and everything. We teach them what we teach them. But we can't be with them 24 hours a day, man. If they make decisions or whatever, sometimes as parents, we want to coddle and we want to put a crutch. You know what I mean? We want them, we want us to be, the crutch, you know what I'm saying, for them. Sometimes we can't be the crutch. We got to just, hey, look, you know what I mean? You made the decision. I taught you the best way I know how, you know what I mean, or whatever, and, sometimes they got to make choices. They got to make choices for themselves. I mean, we ain't going to be there. We ain't going to let them see, fall on their face completely. You understand? Or them be in the dirt completely. You understand? But you have to know when you go out in that world and you got to look and you got to realize when somebody finessing you. Realize when, somebody trying to make you do things that ain't right. But when you make that decision to participate in things that ain't right, you gotta lay in that bed that you made at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna land my plane real quick. I'm gonna let the sister talk and then I come back.
All right, come on, Sister Top. Come on, Shelf.
Good morning. It's 9/11, and I just wanted to share a little story of how I handled things. A young woman was on here talking about how the young man came to her and was, saying, look, this is what it is. It's 100, and this is not what I would choose to do right now. And my son, before he got picked up by Grambling for track and football and on his way to college, I got 5 kids. My ex-husband and I, 3 boys and 2 girls, 2 daughters, and I still am not a grandmother. But he came and sat on the side of my bed. His father wasn't in the room at the time. And I said, and the way he sat down, I said, you pregnant? He's still in high school in the summer, getting ready to go to school, getting ready to take him off, drop him off at grandma. He said, Mama. I said, oh, okay. I said, I can't tell y'all what to do. I said, but you going to college. You going to Grambling. And I sat down with, rest in peace, his girlfriend at the time, and probably his wife right now if she had lived. And I told the both of them, do you all make that decision for yourself. I got my own crosses to bear. However, you can pack yourself up and go to Grambling with him and that baby, but he going to Grambling, period. I'm not a grandmother to this day. They made their own choices. But I talked to both of them prior to this. And the choices they made, and I was standing on that. He's not going to forego his career. I know too many young men who have foregone their college opportunities to stay back, lean back with a young girl who got pregnant unintentionally, some of them. And I was not going to allow that to happen to my son. He just got his master's in law, getting ready to be an NFL agent. Y'all, yay. But I didn't make the decision for them. They were of age, but I told them what my baby was getting ready to do. And you can take that baby with you, and all y'all can live in Grambling and figure that out. But he's going to school. And so that's just my story about it. Like I say, I'm an older mother, and I've got all adult children, and I do not have one grandchild yet. We brought them up with a standard that, a lot of us bring our children. We can't stop. When they're adults, they're going to do what adults do. But something that I was blessed enough to instill in them. This family ain't no joke. Raising kids ain't no game. This is the rest of your life. And so I think they've taken it seriously. Just had a baby boy get married, so hopefully I get some grandkids. But they know they don't want any kids until a couple years, until they get to know each other more. So we set that standard. You got to set a standard and values and morals, and whether or not they abide by them, I don't know. Bear got pregnant. He got pregnant on his way to college, but they chose to do what they did, and I don't have any grandkids. That's my story, and it's doable, you all, but it's what we put into our children. We can't let the schools raise them. We can't let the streets raise them. We have to raise our children with expectation. I have expectation of my children. And Now that I got a couple on that's married, maybe I can expect some grandkids. That's all I have to say. I got meetings this morning. Bless y'all. Thank you for having me up, King.
Oh, you're welcome, sister. You're right though. I mean, a lot of times we can parent, but we have to. When do we stop parenting? I know people say I never stop parenting, but you do, because you have to allow your children to grow. You have to, once they become adults, you are still a parent, but they have to be able to make their decisions. You can't still make decisions for grown adults. And now here's the funny part. The only ones you can make decisions for is if you got a son, husband, or wife, daughter living in your house. If your kids are still a certain age, over the age of 25, and they are still living in your crib, yeah, you can make decisions for them. Because guess what? They still living under your roof. But the moment that they move on and they live in their lives, you are a parent. Parents teach. But now you are a mother and a father. That's all you are. That's my mother. That's my father. You can give advice. That's the best thing you can do from that point forward. I'm just going to give you certain advice. You can take it how you want to take it. But you can't sit there and tell them what they should and what they can and cannot do once they're no longer living in your home. They have their own home. They have their own families to run. But to get back to what I was talking about earlier, I'm gonna leave that part there because that was a whole nother spill. Come on.
Can I say something?
Come on, sis. Come on.
No, I've been up here for a while. Wow, this has been a good conversation. So I've experienced a lot of this that we're talking about, the latter part, and I said it in the comments, but sexual irresponsibility is something that is beneficial to a lot of systems in this country. So they're not going to do anything about it.
Shade.
We are paying people's mortgages and putting their kids through college because some of our children don't listen or don't understand that they don't have to do things a certain way or won't do it. And so now they're in the system, right? And that is a very lucrative industry. Just a system. It's just like all the other ones. So then that has to come from within. That has to come from within the communities, within the homes. Even if you go to church, it should be happening in there. All of that should be happening so that these systems can start to be, done away with. Because nobody's really talking about who's responsible. It's all, well, it happened. We don't live in the 50s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s anymore. Things are different. There are too many children coming through the system. My grandson, I have 4 grown children. I have 1 grandchild. I was married. My parents were married for 35 years. I was married before my husband passed away. None of my children are married. My 1 grandson, my daughter did not listen, got pregnant with somebody who said he didn't want babies. I said, well, how's that possible? So how come you're pregnant? Okay, so went through the system. Now my grandchild is in the system. I couldn't help her. I never been through a system. I didn't go through this. I don't know what this looks like. Now you got to be dropping him off at the police precinct. You're setting up things that don't have to be. But again, other people are benefiting off these choices. So it's like laying down with somebody needs to be made into something else other than what it is now.
Yes.
It needs to be understood that this is a life-altering decision you're about to make. Forget all the candles and the good music and, Velvet, I have my platform is all about pleasure, right?
Mm-hmm.
But responsible pleasure, right? Between 2 responsible, consenting adults that understand the ramifications of laying down unprotected with someone, not just diseases, but a human life. That now, what happens? The court system, the what is it called when people don't want their children?
Court system, you're talking about the adoption services, all of that. Yes.
All of those agencies are benefiting from this stuff.
But
and nobody's talking about that.
Well, you know what?
Those are conversations that need to be had. I'm going to land my plane there, but it is a real serious problem.
Here's a serious problem that I have right now. And I know we're looking at the young ones, but we talking about even some of us at these big ages still laying down, getting upset. How you gonna get mad? You at the big age, knowing you can't get pregnant, but you still allowing these men to go up inside you. You looking for love and all the warm paces. And I don't mean places, I mean paces, because you ain't pacing yourself correctly for the type of man. Then you want to get mad, talking about, oh, he ghosted me. He only ghosted you because he got what he wanted from you. Listen, we at the, and I'm talking about some of y'all women that know y'all can't have kids no more, but yet you're still selling for every Tom Dick, and now you're letting Harry come later. Y'all need to stop and stop complaining. And these are the same women that talking about, I don't know, the dating scene. The dating scene is you on the scene. You have been laying up with the wrong dude for so long that you forget. You know what? I ain't got time to do this right now. I gotta get ready for work. Listen, we're gonna finish this on Wednesday, D.
But as a parent, we need to teach our children
come on, brother.
To think and not what to think.
No, speak on.
Can I make a real quick comment?
Yes, come on, please.
Okay. I want to say that I think a lot of people believe that healing starts when you have a breakup and now you have to get over it. But from experience, healing starts, you have to look all the way back to your childhood and the different traumas that you grew up with. And I think dealing with the relationships a lot of times is just cutting off roots, but you're not dealing with the actual root. So when you're healing for 10 years or, you're crying over the same type of men, look at when you're 3, 5, 10, what are your experiences and start healing from there. Secondly, I don't know if this is a Christian-based platform, but Red brought up a great point.
It's an open platform. What I do here, I listen, my thing is not to cut you off. It's not a Christian-based platform. It's an open platform for people that for all walks of life.
Okay. I will say, I think a person who I think is in the Bible who wins souls is wise. We don't always have to come at somebody with the Bible or with the word, but sometimes it's just a simple interaction of asking questions, because she did say she worked with women with DV, right? I work with addicts, kids, and it's not always banging rules over their head and trying to correct them. Sometimes it's asking the right questions to help them think and get them to the place where they come up with their own conclusion, right? But at the same time, there are people that are professional victims for the rest of your life, and that's where wisdom comes in. Some people are just a waste of energy. They're time vampires. So that's my opinion. I think healing starts from childhood and not necessarily with a bad breakup, although you do have to look into that.
You're 100% correct. But that's but people only started from the bad breakup. Come on,
there's no such thing as a bad kid. They just make bad decisions.
Say that again, please.
There is no such thing as a bad kid. They just make bad decisions.
Come on, lady.
Hey, I will say this. People in our big ages, man, right now, I think y'all need to find what you need and not what you want. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people want to find things that they want. You understand? It's not about what you want. You know what I mean? A lot of people find what they want, and it's not what they probably, they're not prepared for. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you find things that you need, and that other person is in line with the things that you need, and they looking for the same things, you understand? I think, and if you find compatibility, and I think a lot of people are lacking compatibility. Everything glitter ain't gold. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. I'm not looking for a trophy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody that's going to be, not me personally, but I'm just speaking in general. If you're looking, look for compatibility. Look for, somebody that you can talk to. Conversation is very important and very healthy. If that person can have a conversation with you, base that off of what might happen in the future. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I can have a conversation with this person. It's easy to have a conversation with. But some people are missing that. And like I said, this generation right now, they don't have conversations with each other. You know what I'm saying? They're not, they want to lay it down. They want to see what it feels like. They want to see this, that, and the third or whatever, but they're not courting no more. They're not going to meet their peoples in them. They're not going to meet the mamas and the daddies and the sisters and the cousins and the brothers no more. They're not doing that. They don't know what courting is. If you get somebody that's under the age of 20 years old and ask them what courting is, they couldn't tell you. Some of them probably could, but most of them probably couldn't even tell you. So us as grown folk, us as OGs and OGettes, make sure that we on our platforms and we speaking to the youth as well too. And make sure that we're telling them what courting is, what certain things are. And some of them don't even know how to fill out an application no more. You know what I mean? It's just things of life that we just need to be teaching, you know what I mean, on our platform that the school ain't teaching. So let's reach one, let's reach one, teach one. You know what I mean? Straight up. So, and I love what Velvet be doing on his platforms. You know, shout out to him. Shout out to y'all too, man. Y'all was amazing. I was just sitting back listening. So, but like I said, find compatibility conversation and stop ignoring the red flags because you think they look good. You understand? A lot of y'all ignore the red flags because they look good. Stop ignoring that shit.
You know what? You know why they ignore red flags? I'm gonna tell you why they ignore red flags, because they are the red flags. People only attract what you are. You only attract what you used to. If you used to red flags, guess what? You got a whole closet full of them. Whole closet full of them. You just keep pulling them out every time you get a new dude. New red flag. Or you get a new one.
I would like to say is that I think people need to stop trying to control or change the narrative. If a young man tells me he don't want kids, then I have some options there. But for some people, they want to change that person. They want to control the narrative to work in their favor.
Absolutely. And when you get a person, and I just want to say this one last thing and I'm done. If you see in the beginning that person is controlling or that person's attitude is starting to change after they get you, because a lot of people, and this goes for dudes and women, you know, both on both sides. Some women will do things, you know what I'm saying, to get you, right? And then get comfortable. Men will do it too. You understand? People will get lazy, but then you'll be used to it by then, right? And you'll be in this little box with this person, and it's like, okay, the same thing over and over again, the same place we go to, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like I said, you gotta spice it up. You gotta, you know, do different things with your partner. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, talk to your partner and find out the things that they like. Maybe the stuff that they like then, they don't like now. They want to look for different things or whatever. Sometimes you have to have conversations and, you know what I'm saying, find out, you know, what to do better. You understand? And that's what I had to do. I had to find out the things that I had to do better as a husband, as a, you know, as everything. Because, man, let me tell you something. If Velvet wasn't about to end this live, I'll be very transparent with y'all. And I think I'll probably do that on Wednesday when I come through if he allows me to do that, because I'm not going to overstep. So, but a man being very transparent on here, being very vulnerable, you know what I'm saying, and showing the person that he is, you know what I mean? I think we need that as well. You know what I'm saying? As men, you know. So, like I said, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to still be on the platform, but I just want to say that. So we just got to take accountability and we got to take responsibility on, you know, what we do and what we say and all that, and live by that and stand on it.
No, I'm going to say this.
Come on, my
brother. The thing is this. When we talk about the generation, it's really just the time that we're in. And if we're going to go by age group and we're going to talk about really what's messing up, it's our age group. Today in this time, we have more 40-year-old women having children than the younger generation ever in this country. Today in this time, high school pregnancy is down 73, almost 80-something%. So, ironically, when we talk about the kids, there are some things that could be redefined, you know, probably get them out of their feelings and stuff like that. Or just talk about just sensibility. They seem to be a little bit forefront leading in a whole lot of things, and we need to take a step back and really assess the situation. Because when we have these discussions, it's kind of sad to see your peers that you know you went to high school with, and you like, yeah, you still look good, but why are you throwing your ass in a circle?
And trying to dance in the square. Come on.
I don't give a damn that you're out on a cruise with your people. Be of the standard. See, the problem is people love expectations. Expectations is something you drum that stuff up a lot of times. And a lot of times you don't even verbalize those expectations to a T because it's a figment of your imagination 90+% of the time. But a standard is a set of norms, which means if you don't do this, we don't do that. Capiche?
And that's why my man D awesome. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I will say this. Today has been one of these lives where I just wanted to talk to people. I didn't really have a main topic, a real question. Sometimes it's good to just sit down and talk. And this is what I wanted to bring today. I was going to make it go a whole nother way with it. But I said today I just want to talk because we don't really sit down and talk. We have questions, and it's okay to be able to express how you feel and say some of the things that need to be said respectfully. I respect each and every person's opinion that came up here today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for tapping the screen. Thank you for gifting the platform. Thank everybody that came to this live for your participation. The comments matter to me 100%. I love each and every person. Thank y'all for joining, especially using the comments. To my big homie, to my bestie, to the wife. Y'all know who y'all are. I respect y'all. Thank y'all again for joining. We'll be back again on Wednesday. Notice I ain't said me. I said we. We will be back again on Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with another one. I may have a question on Wednesday, but if not, we're going to continue this conversation. But Friday is the main day where y'all really need to pull up. Listen, Fridays, if you're not here on Friday, you missing something.
Yeah.
Fridays.
Friday's starting to look like it's gonna have to be RSVP.
I know, right? Hey, look, and I was mad, AD. I was mad I wasn't here, bro. Like I saw the clip and I was like, oh man, that shit was powerful, bro. Like for real, it was powerful.
Oh, I got some other. I invited another. I sent another brother the invitation for Friday.
Yeah. Fridays, man. It's like
Same time. All my lives is at the same time. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 10 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
To outline this, Friday, ladies, no disrespect to you, but that is not your day to come up on the panel. Not that day. It's no disrespect to you.
None.
But it's one of the most amazing things. It's something I've been really pushing out to women where you can understand and see the variations of men and understand that you can't really account for the different types of leadership that actually do exist. So when you start approaching people, you kind of have a more open understanding that I'm going to be in a continual learning. Like I had a conversation with a friend of mine last night. She was just fuming mad. I don't care. Just upset. He won't love me how I want him to love me. I'm like, that's not how he loves. You're not understanding. No, you're not understanding. I said, imagine this, right? I'm 5'10". There won't be a day I won't ever be 6'7". Somebody somewhere wants me to be 6'7". So in regards to your emotional stance, you want him to love you a way that you say you're familiar with. But I thought we were going on to newer things. That man can only love you how he knows how to love you. You just have to conform. If you're not willing to conform, let that man go be great, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. He going to get the blessing and shine because he's not disrespecting you. He's not putting you in harm's way. He's not belittling you. And God sees all things. So just think about it. When you're having your emotional standards come into play and they don't equate to a standard of treatment, leave that man or that woman alone and watch what happens.
Yes, sir. I would just say this. I'm just praying that people mental, for the men I'm going to say this. I'm not even going to speak on it, but I will speak it into existence. I feel like this Friday is going to be even powerful. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 Fridays, and it's only getting stronger and stronger. I ain't saying better. It's just getting stronger and stronger. Stronger and stronger. But I will say this for you ladies. Yes, Monday and Wednesdays is your days. These are days I open my platform to the sisters. For you women that want to come up and speak. This is what I do for y'all. Monday and Wednesdays, y'all can come up on the platform. This is your day. But Fridays, strictly for my brothers. Strictly for the men. But it's also good for your women to come and get a different perspective. Like you said, you're talking about men. We can speak differently, but it's the alignment. That's the beauty of it. It's the alignment. And y'all will get a different sense of how men, masculine brothers, speak. So with that being said, it's my first day. I got to get back to work. I've been on vacation for 9 days. I enjoyed it, but now I'm back on the grind. And I got to get my mind and my mental set ready for work. Now I got to get out of TikTok head and get back into work mode. But yeah, I'll be back Wednesday. You won't see me tomorrow. You won't see me on Thursday because normally I go live Thursdays, but I'm going to try to chill with that. I'm just going to stick to my Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and I don't be live on the weekends. But I will make pop-up appearances, and someone like if my brothers is live, I will pull up, depending if I'm working or not. But I just make sure I show love and support because that's what we do here. We got to love and support each other and just show love. You ain't always got to be on somebody's platform to show love. You can just come in there live and just be like, yo, what's up? I'm here. Your presence means more to me than me seeing you. Straight up and down. But anyway, listen, everybody have an amazing day. Thank you all for joining, like I said before. May the love of the Lord be with us all until we meet again. In Jesus' name, amen. Normally I pack everybody up, but I'm not doing that no more. We gonna leave, we all gonna leave together. That's how I look at it. So with that being said, listen, everybody have a great day. Like I said before, don't worry about what you did yesterday. Today is where it begins. The moment you clock out, the moment you wake up, that's when your day begins. That's when your new life begins because every day is another opportunity. As long as God giving you grace to wake up, it's a new day to start something new. Real talk. And she said, and for those that didn't see Rain Love, she said, blessing, thanks for commenting. Yes, that is the comment queen. To my moderators, thank y'all. I love y'all, and I appreciate all the work that you guys do. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, we got to go. So with that being said, peace and blessings. So I will. Whew. It's been a long one. 2.5 hours is a long time, ladies. Y'all crazy. But I'll see your sisters. Hopefully see your sisters on Wednesday. Delva Jones is out the building, y'all.